Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to College of the Canyons, Cougar Stadium. Joe Soriano with you, SoCal College Sports. We are going to kick off a little late tonight for the Western State Bowl between Mount SAC, the Mounties, and the College of the Canyons Cougars. Some bus issues, I think, as Mount SAC traveled in, so they're going to give them a little extra time to warm up, and we'll get going here at about 6:15 or so. So come back or stay with us if you like, and should be a good ball game. A couple of 8-2 teams that were just outside the playoff foursome, and a couple of teams that had fantastic seasons and are really hungry to get a W to end the season. So come back here in a few minutes, and we'll get going with you with kickoff and pregame festivities. So come on back. SoCal College Sports, College of the Canyons football. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to College of the Canyons, Cougar Stadium. Joe Soriano and former head coach Chuck Lyon, current Dean of Athletics and Physical Education, and coach the Western State Bowl. Two outstanding teams that were just on the outside looking into that four-man playoff.
Both teams. I really thought we had a chance to get into that, and it just didn't go our way.
I mean, it literally came down to tenths of points, and I talked a little bit with Coach Iacenda and you from last week, but literally came down to, we have identical records, 8-2. Then it went to like opponents' records where I think the other team that did get in was Saddleback. So it was between the three teams, Mount SAC, College of the Canyons, and Saddleback. Saddleback got the call, but literally I think Saddleback had 51 wins from their opponents. We had 50, and then they went to opponents, and, that was close. So crazy formula, but for this year, unfortunately, on the outside looking in, but still, what a great matchup this is. Essentially, this could easily be a playoff game.
Absolutely, it could. There's two of the best teams in California, frankly.
No doubt. And Mount SAC comes in as one of the storied Southern California programs. They've played 6 times in the last 10 years. They've gone to the state championship, and they've won 3 of them. And they had a stretch there where they went 5 straight times to the state championship game and won a couple of those. And I always remember, and I'm sure you too, the 2008 season when the Cougars went 10-0, won their first 2 playoff games, got to the Southern California Championship against Mount SAC, and came up just a little bit short, losing 51-44 on a return of an onside kick attempt as we got tied, or we were down 1, I don't remember, but we were trying an onside, and they scooped it up and scored, and that was the ball game. So great history with these two teams, and Mount SAC, again, one of the strong teams. And COC with an outstanding season, 8-2. Everybody lost to Fullerton. Let's get that out there. All 3 of these teams lost to Fullerton. Anybody who played Fullerton lost. And our only other loss was to Ventura, where we turned it over 3 times in the first 10 minutes and, had tried to fight our way back, couldn't get there. But outstanding season. This would be a great way to cap this season, Coach.
Yeah, Ventura ended up being our representative from the National North Conference. Deservedly so, no doubt. They got the 3 seed. So good for them. But I talked to Coach J-Strab before the game, and I got to tell you, I really have a lot of respect for Bob. They haven't been in the playoffs in 4 years, I think.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while. So, but they're right there, 5, 6, 7, just as we are.
Right.
And it's not that easy. It's just not that easy to get into a 4-team deal when – especially in the national conference.
Very tough. And they're coming off a huge win against Riverside. Riverside was rolling 9-0 and ranked number 2 just behind Fullerton all year. And Mount SAC gave it to them last week. So they're coming in with some momentum.
That's a huge win.
Yeah.
That's a huge win. Riverside's the number 2 seed in this deal.
And still is, even after the loss. Still the number 2 seed.
They ended up 9-1.
Right.
And are still the number 2 seed. So
and
good win for them.
And I think that's what Mount SAC's frustration was. Look, at the 2 teams we've beat were Ventura and Riverside, 2 teams that are in the 4-team, and we can't get in. But they lost to Long Beach, which was a tough loss for them. Of course, we beat Long Beach, so that's where the formula comes into play.
It's going to be. I'm anxious to see if they show up tonight.
Yeah, that's got to be a big worry, right?
It is.
I mean, you
it's
know,
a
having
bowl
coached
game and they just beat a team that's the number 2 seed, and now they're not in the playoffs.
Right.
They're playing on the road, and I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of a letdown.
Right. And for us too. I mean, that's something we got to watch out
for. We're percentage points out of being in that playoff as well. So,
sure.
But they're 2 prideful, storied programs, so I think we're going to get a great game here.
It has the makings of a great game.
It does.
A couple of things that jump out to me, Coach, looking at statistically, Mount SAC is very, very good against the run. They gave up less than 40 yards a game on the ground, and that is one of our strengths. So we're going to have to run the ball against these guys. And then one of their strengths on offense is they run the ball, 220 yards rushing per game, so we have to stop their run.
Yeah, we have to get the ball back. We have to, keep them off the field offensively. It's the same thing. I like our passing game, and obviously their guy is the real deal as well. So this can be a good matchup. I think the team that runs the ball tonight wins the game.
Sure. And hoping, I don't know if you've got any info, but hoping to see Keelan White, who's been out the last 2 weeks and has not played. I don't know what his status is, but I'm hoping he can get in there because he's a big boost as the Cougars' leading rusher.
I did not see him in warm-ups.
Okay. So
I do not believe he's playing tonight.
Okay, so next guy up, right?
Yeah, next guy up.
And the other thing that, for Mount SAC and talking to the COC coaches throughout the week, they are huge. I mean, I was told by one of the coaches, he said, when you watch their kickoff team against our kickoff return, he goes, it'll be hard for you not to laugh how big they are.
Well, that's Mount SAC.
Yeah, exactly. They get depth and size, but hey, we're going to outquick them.
That's exactly right. I can't believe they have the team speed that we have.
Right, and get our skilled guys out in the open field and hopefully can make some things happen. So has the makings of a fantastic ball game, and maybe we'll get another shootout. You never know.
Never know.
Well, we're going to take a quick break as they go to the national anthem and the coin toss, and we'll come back with the kickoff. College of the Canyons football, SoCal College Sports. We'll be right back. Back at Cougar Stadium for the Western State Bowl, Mount SAC Mounties and College of the Canyons Cougars as they get ready to kick it off as the number 5 and 6th ranked teams in Southern California, and this should be a good one. Joining me up here is former head coach of the Cougars and coach of the 2004 National Championship team, Chuck Lyon. And Coach, we just chatted about it, but this could really be a good ball game.
Oh, it's going to be. Like I said, I think it's who controls the ball, who doesn't turn the ball over,
and who came to play,
yeah,
who wants to be here and wants to play.
That's a big deal in bowl games.
Deep.
It's not hard. It's not easy to figure that out. I know. It took me a long time to figure out that you really lighten up the week before.
Yeah.
You get your legs back. You look at a lot of film and you go try to get them ready.
So the Cougars will kick off. Louis Usebi, been the kickoff man all year. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to be Malcolm Bullard. He's trying to get to the wedge here about the 15, trying to bounce outside. He's finally tackled up around the 23-yard line. And the Mounties will take over. They're led by their freshman quarterback, Jaive Magale. He comes in with a little over 1,800 yards passing, 19 touchdowns, and completed them at nearly 64%. So he's a good one. That's
really good stats. Freshman?
Yep.
That's impressive.
We got a pretty good one ourselves, and we'll chat about him when we get the ball. But for now, it's the Mount SAC offense. And if you look
at that
their offensive line looks like an NFL size. They've got a 1st and 10 at their 24. Magale's going to give it to the first man through. I think he bounces it outside, and then a nice open field tackle.
So the first thing I notice is their line splits, which aren't many.
Tight,
because they're not big enough. We'll out-quick them if they get too big a split. So
right.
They get in tight, and they just want to see if they can run us over.
Brendan Williams was in on the tackle out there.
Those are tight line splits. That's foot to foot.
Foot to foot. Andre Walker's your running back. Magale's going to keep it himself. He's attacking out here on the near side. Takes a slide, and he'll be right at the marker.
Just short.
So let's see. Actually, it's Richard Stameti is your starting quarterback. So they're starting Stameti. Don't know if there's an injury situation, but he's been the backup all season. So they'll be short. It'll be 3rd and 1 up at the 32. That's like goal line splits, Coach.
It is tight.
Massey's upended and thrown to the ground, but he will have enough for the first down. Nice open field tackle there for the Cougars. That was Shadrick Lowry. But it'll be first down for the Mounties. Andre Walker will stay in at the running back spot. Stameti will give it to Walker again. And again, Lowry picks him up and throws him down. Be a little gain, maybe 3. So it looks like Mount SAC wants to be physical.
Oh,
they're going to come out and try to pound it.
They're going to play action pass here in a minute. But when you have line splits like that, Joe,
yes,
I have no problem with knifing a defensive end off the end, right behind the heels of the offensive line.
Right.
And see if I can blow that up a little bit, because that's a short edge.
Keep an eye out for that.
Foot.
Yep. Their left tackle, Sione Finau, goes 6'4", 389. So split backs in the shotgun for Stameti. He's going to roll left. He fires out in the flat. It's almost intercepted. Should have been. Hit him right in the hands. I think that was Darius Vukobradov. Yes, it was. And in and out of his hands.
That's a break.
A big break.
That's a big break for Mount SAC, because that would have been pick 6.
It will bring up 3rd down. Third and 7 at the 37. Stameti is the quarterback. Walker the running back. Drops to throw. Throws, and it's complete out there. Enough for the first down. It'll be another move to change up near midfield. I believe that was Cameron Coleman, second leading receiver for the Mounties. And now they'll try to go no huddle.
We overran that, Joe, a little bit.
Right.
In that zone coverage right there. We overran that curl route.
The Cougars with a 4-man front.
They're tight.
This time they'll run it again. Coming up, nice spin move was Walker, but he still gets wrapped up and thrown down by Juice, Noel Uwachukwu, and that'll be a loss.
Joe, they're not pushing the Cougar defensive line off the ball.
Again, we talked about the quickness of this, particularly those DNs and Dorian Gerald and Noel Uwachukwu. Those guys are super quick. 2nd and 10 now. They'll call it no gain. Stemedi on the roll. Fires. It's caught. They had 2 receivers right next to each other, and he still found the open guy, Demetrius Scott, the leading receiver for the Mounties, number 1.
Right back in that curl zone.
Right.
And that's a rolling left, and that's a good throw.
So Stemedi has the Mounties on the move. 11:23 to go here in the first quarter. No score. Into Cougar territory at the 39. And there's the snap. He wasn't expecting it. It had to fall on it. So it looked like he was maybe wanting to change the play, and the snap came when he wasn't looking. He was fortunate to fall on it. Going to lose 6.
Thought I heard a whistle.
Maybe that's what he was looking at.
Yeah.
Maybe he heard something.
I really did.
Second and 16 now for the Mounties. They're going to give it to Massey. He's around the right side. Not much doing there. Maybe a yard.
You know, one of the reasons you get line splits like that is because it takes away any kind of stunt inside, and maybe that's
True.
what they're trying to do. Is they're just not going to let us in the A or B gaps. They're going to see everything coming from the outside.
The other tackle coach is Tavita Moe. He goes 6'4", 380. So your 2 tackles are 380 and 390.
Hey, that tells me they're going to get tired quick.
And that's probably with the tight splits. Those guys, they're just not going to move all that quickly.
They're not.
3rd and 15. Stemedi. He's got pressure. He dumps it off to Massey underneath, and he's going to get wrapped up well short of the first down. But with the yard at 30, the 34, it could be 4-down territory.
I would think they're going to go for this in a bowl game.
The offense stays on the field.
Yeah.
Hakeem Massey is the running back now. They'll go 2 receivers on the far side, and the big receiver down here, they're going to look for that matchup, I would think. Number 5, that is Darian Hambrick, who goes 6'6", and he's lined up against Khalid Taylor at 5'9".
I think they're going to throw it to the sticks.
They're looking for him. And Stemedi goes down, so he's wrapped up and did not get it. Turnover on downs for the Cougar defense. And that was number 92, Gio Ramirez, coming up big.
Not a bad start.
So the Mounties were on the move, and then the defensive pressure. And they'll turn it over on downs. Cougars will take over on the 32. And let's talk about the Cougar freshman quarterback, Andrew Brito, who comes in number 1 in Southern California in yards per game and number 2 in touchdowns, 27.
Wow. Well, that'll tell you something about our offensive line of receivers as well.
Absolutely.
Along with Brito, of course. But we got some playmakers.
Brito's going to do a shovel underneath, and that's hit and wrapped up immediately. Nice play. Tried to toss it underneath to Jalen Logan, and nothing doing there. Loss of 1. Usually you want to see him set it up a little more with do the pitch a couple times.
Safe play, though.
Safe. You talked about that last week.
It's a safe play.
So 2nd and 11 now. Give you the starters here shortly. Brito's going to swing it out here to Deshaun Holmes, looking for a block, and can't quite get it. Muscles his way up to around the 35. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
He had a cutback lane there. I don't think he's seen the tunnel.
Andrew Brito along with Jalen Logan, Ethan Lazarick, Deshaun Holmes, Jaron Pierce, and Brandon Pierce are the receivers. Miguel Garcia, Travis Bird, Tate Renaud, Christian Lofton Grady, and Carlton Lorenz are the big guys up front. 3rd and 7 at the 35. Brito drops. Got a little pressure, trying to get away from a lot of white shirts out there. Finally fires out here to Jaron Pierce. He's out of bounds, but he will have enough for the first, up to the 45. So nice job by Pierce and Brito.
Nice job by Brito extending that play.
He always does seem to do enough to get him by himself some more time.
He does, doesn't he?
And that was a back foot throw, and, and got it to him. So he continues his outstanding season.
We needed that first down, Joe.
Yes. 1st and 10. Marlowe in motion. Brito keeps it, and down he goes. So he was wrapped up pretty quickly after faking it to Marlowe. In on the tackle for the Mounties. That was Anthony Rosales, the leading tackler for their defense.
They're impressive up front.
They're big and they're active.
They're quick.
So 2nd down now. They lose 4, so 2nd and 14. 3-man front now for the Mounties. Brito's going to look for the screen. He's got Logan out here. Looks to break one tackle, but can't get away from one of their other linebackers, and that'll be just a couple-yard gain. Max Latu, the 2nd leading tackler for the Mounties. So 3rd and long now.
This early in the game, I'm not sure I'd try to do too much here.
Okay.
See if I can throw and run.
And if not, punt it, play some defense.
Settle in a little bit.
So Deshaun Holmes and Jaron Pierce on the near side, Lazarick and R.B. Marlowe on the far side. Brito wants to throw.
Rush.
He does. Fires in and out of the hands of the defender, incomplete. So Rosales may have had close to an interception there, but incomplete, brings on Travis Reiner and the punt team. Demetrius Scott is deep.
Travis has had a good year.
Yes, he has. Over 40 yards a kick.
Yes, he has.
And got a little bit better each game, it seemed like, because early in the season I know he was around 36, 37 yards, and now he's up over 40.
He's really good at turning the nose over on the football and extending that punt, and he gets good hang time.
Now, at this level, Coach, will JC punters get a ride, or are they just invited to walk on? Yeah?
Oh, no. You got to have a punter. That's a good kick.
That's a great kick. So
It
Scott
really is.
inside the
That's
10.
A great kick.
And he loses the first guy, and he's got a little bit of room to run with a cutback. He's finally tripped up around the 27-yard line, so a nice return by Scott. And a nice kick by Reiner.
You know, he's got a chance to be a scholarship guy. No question.
We saw him being last couple weeks really has been sending some boomer punts.
That was a great punt right there.
Sophomore out of Canyon. One of the sophomores playing his last home game here, last home game. So here come the Mounties in the offense. This is going to be Massey. He's up the middle, keeps his feet driving. He falls forward up near the 35. So, again, they continue to try to pound it with that big offensive line.
That was the best hole I've seen up front.
Now, with those tight splits, does it make it tough for a running back to find a little hole?
Well, yeah, it does, but because there is no hole. He's just going to run until he sees a break, and then he's going to hit it. But he's going to stay behind those big guys until he sees a crease.
Looks like we got an injured Mountie. But Mount Sac, as we talked about, coming into the ballgame, a little over 220 yards a game rushing, which is excellent. That's 4th in Southern California. So that's their strength, and they want to try to do that all night long behind that big offensive line.
Especially with a backup quarterback.
Right.
Which I don't understand that, whatever happened there, but they're definitely going to test that run for a long time, see if they can wear us out. That's why our offense has to stay on the field when they get the ball.
And they've got a lot of guys they can bring in. They've got 7 running backs with over 100 yards rushing on the season. So they'll keep them fresh and keep shuttling them in. And I'm sure their hope is just to wear down the Cougar front.
Yep.
Injured on the play for Mount Sac was number 40, Farius Wilhoit. He's a fullback, 5'11", 240-pounder.
We don't even have a fullback.
And haven't for a long time, right?
Maybe forever. I know I didn't have one. That's so funny. I had a guy get recruited. He came with a friend. And I said, what position did he play? And he, Jarrell.
Oh.
And he says, I'm a fullback. I go, you're at the wrong school. So we don't have, I said, you're a linebacker now.
We talked about, and he ended up being an all-stater, I think.
Linebacker.
Yes.
By the time it was over.
Yep, he was a good one.
Coach, I'm not a linebacker. I said, you are now.
and props to him for sticking it out.
Oh, he did too. Because I told him to go home.
Yeah.
And he wasn't hearing that, so.
Ends up being a 2-year starter.
Yes, he was.
2nd and about 3 for the Mounties. Stemetti in the shotgun. He'll give it to Massey. He runs into his own guy, and then bang, he goes down.
He didn't get the first, but he's close.
Juice along with KJ Latu. And that'll bring up 3rd and short. Ball spotted at the 36 and need to get up to the 37. 5 minutes to play in the first quarter, 0-0 in the Western State Bowl. 2 8-2 teams, the number 5 and number 6 ranked teams in Southern California. So now they're really going to tighten up the splits, and now they'll go tight end. They'll go under center with Stemetti and a fullback. And now a timeout.
Timeout, Mount Sac.
So they didn't like what they saw, or maybe they didn't like the personnel. But they'll do it. And it was, that was quite a run Mount Sac had a few years back, Coach, where they went 5 straight years to the state championship game.
Yeah, that's impressive.
That was, similar to like what San Francisco did way back when.
Yep. George Rush was doing it with San Francisco. No doubt. Bob's done a great job there. And, they'll bring in around 110, 120 guys a year.
Yep.
Which I don't know how you do that. I was never able to do that, nor would I even want to do that.
Right.
But because of their recruiting base, where they live, and all the high schools around them, they have the opportunity to bring in that many. And I got to tell you, they do a great job academically too, and they're getting them out. So guys are not afraid to go there.
Sure. And I think that Fullerton has kind of looked at that model, and they're starting to do that.
Well, that's exactly what you're seeing.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Because they've got a great base, but they also bring in 100, 120 guys.
I mean, this time of year when you see they got 80, they're 80 strong.
Yeah, yeah.
We're 50.
Exactly.
So it makes a difference.
Sure.
In a 10-game season, 11-game season in the national conference.
3rd and 1, they'll give it to Walker, and he's hit and dropped. And I don't think, like you said, Coach,
I think he lost yards.
KJ Latu bangs him down for a loss. That's going to bring on the punt team. Great job by Latu.
Here's another one for you, Joe. In bowl games, I always like to have that trick play in my pocket, that fake punt.
Right.
It's this fun game. This is icing on the cake.
Sure.
This is the spot I would do it in right here.
Okay.
It's 4th and a half yard.
Right.
It's based on the defense and what they're doing.
Sure.
But those were always kind of fun in bowl games. I know we're ready for that.
Jaron Pierce and Justin Dennison are deep. That's a low liner.
It is.
And it's going to be Dennison picks it up, but he's hit immediately.
Saved some yards.
Yeah, and wrestled down.
Saved a lot of yards.
So COC's offense will get their 2nd shot at the Mount Sac defense with the ball at their own 28-yard line.
This is what we expected last week.
Right, and by this time last week, there was already 3 scores in, I think.
Exactly.
So Marlowe, along with Holmes, Lazarick, and Brandon Pierce, and Jalen Logan is your running back. And again, I think you said it doesn't look like we're going to see Keelan White, which is a shame. He had himself a great season, but got a little banged up a couple weeks ago. So that's Pierce in motion. Brito wants to throw. He's pressured. Rolls to his left. Fires. Incomplete. So a little breakdown on the protection there.
Been all night so far.
Yeah.
He has not got comfortable. He hasn't been able to sit and throw the ball yet.
No, you're absolutely right.
He's running.
So what do you do with that? What do you do to get him?
You move the pocket on purpose.
Okay.
So, you roll out, you half roll, you play action to slow it down, you throw the 3-step drop. There's a lot of things you can do.
Okay.
But this can't keep happening.
Right.
Because if you can move a quarterback off his spot consistently, you're usually going to win the game.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Brito wants to throw again. This time he sets and throws, and over the head of Brandon Pierce. But he did come down with it.
So there's what I'm talking about. He actually got to sit there and look and throw it.
And it's been shocking to see his arm strength for a guy his size. I mean, that was a
Unbelievable.
fastball. That was just
Yes,
a
it
90-mile-an-hour fastball. There's a flag I did not see, but it was Jalen Logan, and it's a big one.
It's got to be a hold, huh?
So that's going to move him all the way back to the 16, the 14, and replay second down. So now it's second and a whole bunch.
I've been impressed with their defense, Joe. This is as good a defense I've seen in a long time.
Brito fires out the right side to Lazarick. He's looking for a block. Gets a couple out there. Yeah, they're big and active.
They're big and active up front. And they're in a 4-deep shell. They got 2 high safeties, and they're not going to let you get behind them. And they tackle well.
Yes.
And that's impressive. That's one of the reasons they're 8-2.
In talking to Coach I before the ball game, they were hoping that they could get into their secondary. They thought if there was a weakness in their defense, it was their secondary. But those are some big guys you got to get through first.
I haven't seen it.
Third and long. Here comes the draw. And that's Jalen Logan. He busts out to the right and does a nice pickup, but he'll be well short of the first down.
It's our best play of the night.
So Reiner will come on for his second punt of the night. So the penalty hurts, and they'll give it back. Deep is Demetrius Scott for the Mounties.
Joe, we did accomplish some things on that drive, though. We got our defense off the field for a while. We moved the ball a little bit, just a penalty.
Right.
But
look out.
No, he didn't get to it.
Good kick with the pressure on. Scott at the 21. Jukes the first man. Now he's looking for a little more room. Finally cut down. Nice open field tackle out there.
Good coverage.
It was good coverage. That was number 22 for the Cougars, Jamar Berkeley. He's the freshman from Valencia.
How about those Vikings last night?
Boy, what they put up, 70?
Yeah, I watched.
Jeez. In a quarterfinal playoff game?
Yeah. Norco, that's at Norco. That's that was impressive.
So for the
Coach Larry Muir.
Did you?
Alamany High School.
Okay.
Long time ago. Good man.
For the second straight year, the Vikings will get to the semifinals in Division II. 1st and 10 for the Mounties. There's some popping going on down there tonight, Coach.
They are.
Short pickup of about 3 for the Mounties.
We're seeing a little bit of old school football right here from the Mounties.
That was Trey Elliott on the carry. As we said, they've got a big stable of running backs.
Yeah.
2nd and 7.
Trading the tight end.
Be Elliott again. No, Stametti kept it, and he's trying to get up to the first down. Depend on the spot, it'll be a little short. But
a little short, about a yard.
Boy, KJ Latu has been really active tonight, the linebacker. He's already been in on 3 or 4 tackles, and we're still in the first quarter. He's the freshman from Paraclete, who's also rolling in the playoffs.
It's 3rd and short again.
Shotgun for Stametti. He'll keep it himself. He'll have enough for the first and then some, trying to get outside again. All the way up near midfield goes Richard Stametti into Cougar territory at the 49. First down, Mounties.
That's nothing but a wildcat play.
Right.
Just gives you an extra
straight
blocker.
Run, exactly.
Yeah, just gives you an extra blocker in there.
There was no ball fake, nothing.
No.
Just got it and went.
Quarterback power.
Yeah. So first down at the 49 of the Cougars. He'll give it to Elliott. He's hit. Shadrick Lowry along with Alonzo Reeves. Maybe a gain of 1. So nice job there by the Cougar defense.
This is a physical game, Joe. There's people hitting each other down there tonight. Wow.
And that should take us to the end of this first quarter, 0-0 in the Western State Bowl between the Cougars and the Mount SAC Mounties. So let's take a quick break and we'll come back. SoCal College Sports, College of the Canyons football. We are back at Cougar Stadium as we start the second quarter. 0-0, the Cougars and the Mount SAC Mounties at the Western State Bowl. And the Mounties have a 2nd and 9 at the Cougar 48. Stemeti is the Mountie quarterback. He wants to throw, fires out there on the far side, and is complete. Short of the first down, but it was complete. It'll bring up 3rd and short. It was complete to Gaston Boichereau.
Thought the cushion was too big. Corner over there.
Yeah.
You know, if this backup quarterback, I'd challenge him, see if he can throw it deep. Nobody's tried to take a shot.
No, nobody's. A lot of runs, a lot of underneath. 3rd and 1 now for the Mounties. Stemeti will give it to Elliott again. This time he's got a big hole up the middle, and this time he'll have enough for the first. Brought down by Bobby Brown and Shadrick Lowry. Up to the 32 of the Cougars. The big fullback that went out earlier is back in the ball game. Farius Wilhoit.
I think the huddle is extinct.
It just sure seems like it, doesn't it?
I haven't seen a team huddle up in a long time.
1st and 10 Mounties. This is Elliott. He's through the middle again. Again, Bobby Brown brings him down. Pickup of 8. So now the pound is starting to work a little bit.
Yeah, they're starting to wear us down a little bit. You can see it.
That's an offensive line that averages well over 300 pounds. Wilhoit and Elliott still in the backfield with Stemeti. He fakes. He wants to throw. He does over the middle, and it's over the head of his receiver. And that's incomplete. Brings up 3rd and short. Probably got to go back to the pound behind that offensive line.
And it's been happening over their left side, our right side. They seem to have found a spot there.
So now they'll go I formation with Wilhoit and Elliott, and Stemeti will go under center. He'll give it to Elliott, and he'll burrow forward, see where the spot is. I got to think they'd go for it even if they didn't make it.
I think they got it. They did get it.
And they did. 1st down, Mounties. Up to the Cougar 22. Now, what do you do defensively? You see him starting to wear you down a little bit up front.
There's not much you can do. Not with those splits.
Stemeti wants to throw out here to Elliott, who drops it.
Yeah, it takes away your stunt game, and that's why they do it, because they know they're big and they're probably not real good laterally, offensive linemen I'm talking about. And so by cutting those splits, they know where you're coming from. It has to be off the edges, and then they use their backs to protect.
Sure.
So that's a difficult one. It doesn't matter how many guys you put up there. It's not going to change.
Single back now is Elliott. Man in motion. Stemeti's going to swing it out here. Tries looking for a block. Looks like a hold. There's 2 flags that come down on the hold. We could see it from up here.
Yeah.
I could see that without my binoculars, Coach.
Yeah.
So it was the near receiver just grabbed hold.
Yep.
And you can see it right there. Just grabbed him and actually tackled him. So that's a break for the Cougars. They'll bring them back 10 from the spot, all the way back to the 30.
It's been a fairly clean game.
Sure.
Only second flag we've seen.
Yes.
One hold
the other one on Logan,
side.
right?
Yeah.
2nd 18 now. They've got to get all the way up to the 12-yard line. So Stemeti will get the call from the sidelines. Trey Elliott is the running back with him on this series. Stemeti will do a draw to Elliott, and he's hit and wrapped up pretty quickly.
Not happening.
Dorian Gerald and
Dorian.
Juice. So good job by those 2 DNs, and they actually lose a couple more. We'll bring up 3rd and 20 from the 32. So now you got to play some coverage.
You do.
Hopefully you can get some pressure with the 4 guys that you rush.
I'm telling you, that's what we're sending.
Stemeti
We have
and
a linebacker in a spot that could come. He didn't.
Stemedi,
So.
he's got some room out there, but he still throws over the middle, and it's knocked away.
That's
nice
a great
play. That was Khalid Taylor.
That was a great play.
Jumped inside on the route and knocked it down. Brings up 4th and long.
Played that dig route real nice.
Nice job by Taylor. So for the first time tonight, Mount Sac punter will come on. That is Andrew Rodriguez. Kick is long. They're hoping for an end zone bounce, and they got it. So the Cougars will get it on the touchback.
They didn't play that real well. Didn't angle it to
didn't
the
didn't really
sideline.
give themselves a shot.
Nobody went down on the goal line and turned around. Didn't kick it very high. That's I'm a little surprised at that right there.
And it actually wasn't Rodriguez on the punt. It was Elmer Pawini. So I'm not sure if he's the short guy or what. But anyway, the Cougars will take over at their 20. 0-0, 11:40 to go here in the second quarter. Again, it'll be Logan and Brito. Deshaun Holmes all by himself, and trips to the far side. Hunter Schuessler is in the ballgame, the tight end. Brito, there's your fake play. Little end around to Brandon Pierce, and he's just got to go. He does get shoved out about the 32. That'll be enough for a first down.
Oh, there's your first one.
Yep.
There's
so it looked
more
like
to come.
a little option on the replay. You'll see.
Reverse.
Yeah, looked like they wanted to fake pitch it to Logan. And Pierce intercepted it. And at this point, he's just got to go.
Yeah, he's got to run.
In the dancing, yep.
Yeah.
He's got great speed. So 1st and 10 up to the 32.
Play it.
Might have a free one. They fire, and over the coverage and incomplete, but they blew it dead, I believe. Everybody seemed to stop. Sometimes you get the play and you don't. Sometimes they blow it dead, and other times they'll let you play it out.
I'm not really sure why, Joe.
Each crew is different?
Yeah, it is. I think if there's contact,
okay,
you got to blow it dead.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Blew it up to the 37, 1st and 5. Brito again under pressure. Fires out there. Got a man open on the far side. It's Brandon Pierce. Another flag down. And Pierce up the far sidelines, but it's going to come back.
That's going to cost a lot of yards.
Yeah, Pierce was
a late flag behind the ball. See, those kind of flags, I'm not okay with those.
Oh, ineligible downfield.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's a different one.
I thought it was going to be a hold, which I wouldn't be okay with.
Right.
Downfield is a different story.
So one of the offensive linemen got a little too deep. That was a nice pickup that they'll bring back. Nice job by Brito finding Brandon Pierce.
That's one of those run-pass options where the quarterback can run or throw it to the wide receiver who's just standing on the sideline.
Right.
And then the play broke down.
Right.
So the receiver takes off. He hits him, but we got guys downfield.
Yep. So 1st and 10. So it'll be Logan. He's looking for a hole. He's hit hard. He's able to fall forward up to the 35 for a pickup of about 3. Brings up 2nd down.
Their defense is as advertised.
Yes. So 2nd and 7 now. Brito will go empty set. Trips to the far side. 2 receivers on the near side. Quick snap. Brito fires out here in the flat. It's caught. Makes the first guy miss. Now trying to get to the far side. That's Brandon Pierce. I think he'll have enough for the first down.
I think he will, too. That was a nice run.
A great first move.
It was a great first move, Joe. They weren't ready.
No.
First time they'd seen the no back set, the open set, and they weren't ready.
So that'll move the change forward up to the 43 now. The trips are on the near side now. Fake, get it out here to R.B. Marlowe. He throws it over his head, incomplete. And Brito smacks himself on the helmet. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 after the incomplete. Schussler checks in. He's the big target at tight end. And again, empty set. Mount Sac showing blitz. Here they come. They're going to toss it over here to Marlowe. He cuts back. Got a little room at the 50. He did. Up near the first down marker goes R.B. Marlowe. He's having himself a great season, too.
I was going to say, yeah, that's a first down.
Yes,
Yep,
it is. And they'll move him. He's versatile, Coach. We've seen him line up at running back.
Really a good run.
We've seen him on the fly sweep. So they'll be into Mountie territory at the 47 with a 1st and 10. And they'll stay in the empty set.
We're giving them a little trouble with this set.
Yes, and they show blitz again.
They're coming.
And they are coming, and it's low, but I believe it's caught. And that is Marlowe again up at the 40.
Love the way he gets his arms under that low ball.
Right.
Cradles it.
Take away any option of them to call it incomplete. Wow. Tack on 15 to the end of that one.
Yep.
And another first down, and Brito pops right up. Man, he takes some shots.
Close to that red zone.
Yes.
First time.
Up to the 25, they'll spot it. Now, it's interesting when they see the empty set, they immediately go blitz.
Well,
You'd
that's
think
one
they'd
way.
drop
You've
out.
only got a couple options.
Yep.
I used to hate to cover that because you either got to
There it
send
is
guys
again.
or you got to cover.
Right.
There's no in between, and it looks like now they're going to.
They're going to come
They're
again.
bringing them. They're bringing them.
Got to get rid of it. He wanted to. Now he's going to go deep and throws it out of bounds. He had Pierce for a second, Jaron Pierce, but he couldn't get his feet underneath.
Actually, I would prefer him to do that when I was coaching.
Yep.
Come after, because then you can. There's some rub routes you can run. You just get the ball and throw the ball.
Yeah, you got to get rid of it.
And there's less guys to tackle if you complete it.
And that looks like that's their default scheme is when you see empty set, we're going.
Yeah, every time.
Yep, that's what they've done so far. Now to go back to Logan in the backfield.
Gives you a chance to run that middle screen, that little tunnel screen as well. Your screen game.
Now they only rush 3. Brito has time, but no man open. Makes a move, trying to buy himself some time. See if he wants. No, he's going to hold on to it. He fires in the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Cougars. That's Leroy DeShazer.
What a play by Brito.
Really. Let's watch it again. Coaches,
what a play by Brito.
Buys himself. And what a great move by DeShazer to get out there.
Hard to cover guys for 7 seconds.
Yes, it is.
Seconds.
And they only rushed 3 that time, dropped into coverage, and Brito made him pay.
Yeah.
So DeShazer, who is one of the few returning receivers in this core, gets himself a touchdown. And he's going to be the guy next year.
Woo.
And Sinclair comes in and converts on the PAT. He was perfect last week, and he has taken over those kicking duties.
That streak.
Yes, he is. And they needed that. So the Cougars take the first lead of the ball game, 7-0, with 8:37 to go here in the second quarter in the Western State Bowl. So Brito making things happen again with his feet.
Yes, he did.
Buying himself some time and finding the open receiver.
You know, you notice on those two, what the offensive line has learned from him is don't stop.
Right. Yes.
Because we had a lineman come back to see him pick up.
Yeah, I did.
You know, they start looking for guys because they know he's going to be running around, and we don't get many holding calls.
No.
Which is surprising with as much movement as he does. So, kudos to Coach Dumoulin on that offensive line.
Brito came in, or at least offensively, averaging over 15 yards of completion, which is big.
That's big.
And there's another big one there. So this will be Eusebi. Demetrius Scott is the deep man. Chris Jackson is one of the up-backs. It's going to be Jackson at about the 16-yard line. He's going to try to get to the far side, looking for some room. Too much dancing, but he does get a little room. Now he's out there on the 30 and making guys miss all over the place. Gets up near the 40-yard line. So I thought for sure with all that dancing he was going to get wrapped up, but he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, we lost contain over there.
So good field position to start this drive for the Mounties at the 40. I am curious about why Magale is not in at quarterback, but maybe got hurt in the Riverside game. But Stemeti is the guy, at least for now. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 40.
All I ever think about now is concussion protocol.
Right, that's right. Malcolm Ballard at the running back spot. That's a whole new thing for the ball game. Stemeti's going to throw it out here. Scott, yes.
Right,
their RPO, and then Scott's just standing out here at the sideline.
that's the play we tried to run. We got the man downfield.
Yeah, but that's successful for the Mounties as they're into Cougar territory. Pick up a 17 yards at the 43. And they're going to go hurry up here. Stemeti will fire it again, and that's the big guy out here, and he fumbled it. It looks like he fell on it again.
Yeah.
But that was on the carpet. That's Cameron Coleman, the 6'2", 185-pounder from Fontana. So they'll mark it back a couple yards where he recovered the fumble. Ends up being a pickup of 2. 2nd and 8. Stemeti's going to give it to Bullard. He's got a little bit of a hole over the right side. Gio Ramirez in on the tackle.
3rd and 4.
Along with Bonte Freeman. And again, we're got to be thinking 4 downs here. If they don't get it, 7-14 and counting. 7-0 Cougars lead. Stemeti wants to throw. He does. And they're going to blow it dead.
Legal procedure.
Wow. That's an inopportune time for that one. And now you're at 3rd and 9.
They are now at, they're moving it back. They are at the 42.
So spotted up at the 42, 3rd and 9. Malcolm Ballard is the running back. 2 receivers on the near side. Stemeti wants to throw. He fires, and it's caught out here on the near side. Down goes Coleman, but he'll have enough for the 1st down up near the 25-yard line of the Cougars. So they go back to Coleman.
That's hard to complete in a cover 2 that we were in there.
And it looked like he stepped up into that pocket very nicely.
Yeah, he did.
So the Mounties on the move now with 6 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Trailing 7-0. Richard Stemeti's the quarterback. He's gone the whole way. He'll give it to Ballard over the right side. He's got a hole. He's cutting back. He's loose. He's at the 15, cuts back down around the 13, but that will be enough for another 1st down for Mount SAC.
Starting arm tackle.
Good running backs will run through that.
Yeah, they sure will. We're starting to, you can see a little fatigue.
Not a lot of depth. We talked about it for the Cougars on either side of the ball. Again, those tight splits. And this will be Ballard again. This time he's wrapped up and thrown for a loss. And that's Alonzo Reeves, the leading tackler for the Cougars.
He followed that pulling guard.
Yeah, they teach that from youth football, don't they?
There it is.
That guy moves, you follow him. Follow him.
Angle and he hit it.
So Reeves, that'll be a loss of about 2. Brings up 2nd and 12. They've got to get up inside the 5 for a 1st down. Now in the ball game at running back for Mount SAC is Trey Elliott. Stameti rolls. He fires. Caught out there as he falls to the ground. Will be a reception up near the 10-yard line.
Big play.
Darian Hambrick was the receiver. So
Third and 7.
Yep.
3rd and 7. Hold them to a field goal attempt.
Yeah, you got to think they want to get some points.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe they wouldn't go for a 4th down.
I don't think they'd go for 3rd and 7. They'll go 3rd and 2 or 3.
And maybe another timeout here from Mount SAC to discuss it.
They've got one left.
We'll take a break. We'll come back to finish up this first half. SoCal College Sports and COC Football. Be right back. We are back at Cougar Stadium, 4:11 to go. Mount SAC trails the Cougars in the Western State Bowl 7-0. They've got a 3rd and 7 at the Cougar 10-yard line. Stameti and Elliott. Stameti wants to throw. He fires, and it's caught out here by Hambrick, and he's in for the touchdown. So Dorian Hambrick on the slant, and he gets the Mounties on the board.
One of my go-to routes on the goal line, Joe. Just a short dig, 3 or 4 yard in.
Yep.
Behind a 9 route, send the guy inside on a seam and get it out early.
And that's a mismatch problem for the Cougars because Hambrick goes 6'6" and 220 pounds, and he bowled his way in.
Well,
on to kick now for Mount San Antonio. Number 37, Andrew Rodriguez. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So we are tied up, 7-all, 4:05. Not quite the shootout we saw last week, but you never know what can happen.
You never know.
Junior college football, right?
We'll be aggressive here with 4 minutes left.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of time, all your timeouts.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see who the Cougars send back deep for the kickoff return team. Looks like R.B. Marlowe and Khalid Taylor. Rodriguez will be the kicker for the Mounties. It'll be Taylor right at about the 1 yard line. Trying to get up to the center of the field. He does. Tries to bounce outside. Now he stays in the middle. Still on his feet. Still on his feet. Up near the 37, 38 yard line goes Khalid Taylor. Nice return.
That was a great return.
Uh-oh. And here's a flag does come in.
Looked like a late hit on Mount SAC. I didn't see a number.
One of the Cougars did do a bit of a flop.
Yeah, that's what I seen too.
But
I'm not sure that's the penalty though.
Okay. They're conferring now. This could be huge though if it's against Mount SAC. It's going to move them into Mount SAC territory.
Oh. Coach I is hot.
Yes, he is.
Hot on that call.
So they'll nullify each other. They'll leave it where it's at. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars at their own 38. 3:54 to go, 7-all in the Western State Bowl. Trips to the near side. Showing blitz are the Mounties. Now they'll drop back. Brito wants to throw. He sets. He fires. And into coverage, incomplete. So he wanted DeShazer. And you could see him kind of hesitate for a sec, Coach.
That was good coverage.
Yeah, it was.
He really wasn't sure. That was just he just isolated a route, and DeShazer didn't get open.
Yep, good coverage.
Yeah.
So they'll bring in Schussler now. Marlowe checks out. Logan will check out.
Too many guys on the field.
So now they'll go to empty set,
Okay,
which should mean blitz for Mount SAC.
We'll see.
Here they come. Got to get rid of it. And caught out here in the flash, Jaron Pierce. He's up near the 45. Good open field tackle. But he's been getting time when they do that blitz.
I'm telling you, I would keep doing that because you know the coverage you're getting. You know you're getting man. Cut our splits.
Sure.
You know, on the offensive line and buy a little bit of time there. And I think we're quicker than they are on the outside.
It's a big play here, 3rd and 3. You don't want to give them the ball back. Here. And they're showing blitz again.
Yes, they are. We changed the play.
Yep. Tight on the near side with Pearson Holmes. They're walking up.
Come.
And they fire out here, and it's caught at Brandon Pierce. If he can break that tackle, he can't. He had a lot of room. So nice open field out there on the far side.
We're doing a real good job of handling their blitzes.
Yes.
We really are.
Excellent.
We're blocking them up. Brito's taking his time.
Making his reads, finding the open guy.
You know, you can't get to a third read on that. It's usually your first read is going to be the guy you throw it to because they're in man coverage and you know it.
First down into Mountie territory at the 47. All 3 timeouts left for the Cougars. 1 for Mount SAC. Logan over the left side is looking for a little room. He does, and he gets up near the first down. So nice job by Logan. They're going to spot him about a yard short. Spotted at the 38 of Mount SAC.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, wind it all the way down.
2:10. 3 timeouts. No hurry.
2 receivers on each side. Logan in the backfield with Brito.
Penalty.
Yeah, we got a little movement up front. So 2nd and 1 becomes 2nd and 6.
Those penalties are magnified in games like this.
Sure.
You know, in these tight ball games where yards are tough to get.
So 2nd and 6 at the 43 of the Mounties. Showing blitz again.
Coming again, man.
Brito rolling. He's got a big pressure, and he just throws it away. So smart play there. And they were coming hard. That was the linebacker, Anthony Rosales.
They don't play much coverage. It's pretty easy to practice that right there. I got news for you. Line up and bring it.
Yep. So now 3rd and 6 with 1:33 to go.
But it's effective.
Sure. You got to think maybe they're going to come again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And now Coach I wants a timeout, so that's a good timeout there, I think.
Yeah, and you know they really weren't showing that blitz either. And I think Coach I seen that, and he wants to talk about this a little bit.
So we'll keep it here with 1:33 to go.
That is a good timeout, Joe.
7-7. The chess game goes on now.
I had no qualms about using my timeouts in the first half.
Yeah, I was kind of wondered about a lot of coaches you'll see that will let the clock run and not use them and end up with 1 or 2 of them going into half, right?
Second half, I completely understand.
Yep.
But in the first half, you know, if you're any indecision, use them.
Yeah.
He's got all of them.
Yep.
He's got a minute 33. We're 3rd and 6. Get the play you want.
Right. So the offense will come back out, see what they got from Coach I. And let's see if Mount SAC comes again with pressure. 2 receivers on each side. And they're showing it, at least for now. So being very patient is the Cougar offense. I like that. They drop off now. Brito wants to throw, got a man. It's tipped, it's
nice
caught.
catch.
DeShazer, he'll have enough for the first and run out of bounds up near the 32-yard line. So Leroy DeShazer making his presence felt tonight.
That was a one-handed catch.
It really was. And he's a big dude to begin with at 6'2", but he had to go up the ladder for that one.
He just threw a paw up there, snatched it out of the air.
So move it up to the 33, 1st and 10 for the Cougars. 1:25 to go here in the first half. We're all knotted up 7-all. Brito again wants to throw. Fires out there, overthrows Holmes, but that was a good put it where nobody could get it but Holmes.
Right.
And that'll stop the clock with 1:18.
That was actually pretty good protection, Joe. He had some
He had a little
there.
bit of time,
Yeah,
and then
he did.
because that was about his
Good
second
coverage.
or third
Yeah.
check down guy. Second and 10 now.
Well, I like the fact we use the clock. We use the clock. We're 2nd and 10. We still got a shot to put it in the end zone, get a field goal out of it.
Brito kind of get out here to Holmes. He's looking for a
screen.
block and not going to get one. Runs out of bounds, which is good. Stops the clock. Picked up about 1. So now it's 3rd and 9.
Pretty well coached defense, Joe.
Yes,
You know, they
discipline.
keep things in front of them. They tackle well. They know angles.
Doesn't hurt that they're athletic as well.
Yeah, that they can run and they're big.
3rd and 9 at the 32. The trips are on the near side. All by himself. On the far side is DeShazer. Here comes the blitz.
Here it comes.
And Brito spins out of it. He's
Run.
looking. Now he's
Just
got some
run.
room to run. He's at the 30, the 20, and he slides down around the 17-yard line. First down, Cougars. Smart play by Brito.
Big game.
Didn't try to force it anywhere.
Did I see Brito slide?
Yes, you did.
did.
Someone's been talking to him. Has it been you?
Wasn't me.
Okay.
I did.
Smart play.
do you
50
got?
seconds to go. And spotted at the 18. And this time they're going to give it to Logan. He's on the far side. Turns the corner. He's at the 10. And finally dragged down, but not before he'll have another first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Cougars. So nice run by Logan.
And it's going to be placed at the 7.5 yard line.
And they didn't pull anybody out, just a zone blocking scheme there, Coach. They just blocked their guy, and Logan was able to get the edge. And now another timeout for Coach I with 33 seconds to go.
With 1 left.
Yep. I think there was a personnel thing.
Oh, he's talking to the official about something he doesn't like.
I wonder if he thought maybe did Logan get out of bounds and they didn't stop it.
Oh.
But it is 1st and goal at the 7. So you got 4 downs here, 33 seconds, and a timeout left. Again, I'm assuming it's going to be an RPO again, run-pass option for him.
Yes. With a timeout left, you can do that. I would just tell him to, you know, I would try to throw the ball at least into the end zone.
Okay.
And obviously, if it's open, throw it. If not, throw it away.
Throw it
Let's
away.
live for another day.
Yeah.
First down. So we got enough chances here. And the way they've been blitzing, which I wouldn't be surprised here, that little screen, that little comeback screen,
Yep.
is an option because they have been very aggressive.
So twin receivers on each side, Brito and Logan.
They're
Wants
in a
to throw.
3-man rush.
He looked right and he looked left. Now he's scrambling back. Right. Looking. fires right at the line, incomplete. So he wanted to go to Holmes.
It bounced.
Right on the sideline, incomplete. So that should stop it with 23 seconds.
That took 10 seconds.
Yeah, he's running around. You see the replay, and tight. That's a tight throw. Tough to see from that
That's
angle.
That's the first time we've seen him in a 3-man rush.
Right.
They played coverage on the 7.
So 2nd and 7 now, 23 seconds to go, and 1 timeout left.
They're telling you to run the ball here.
And they're going to. There's Logan. He's up. He's over to the right, and, he gets dragged down.
There it is.
Up near the 2-yard line.
Yeah, we're down to the 1.5.
Coach I calls the last timeout with 17 seconds. So now you got 3rd and goal at about the 2, and now you have no timeouts. Can you take the chance of trying to run the ball here?
You can.
Okay. Because you don't have a spike or anything.
Well,
you got to get up and run.
They were inviting you to run the ball at them right there.
It was a good gain.
It was. And they were three-man front, and they were standing up, and you have to do that.
Right.
You're not going to see that here.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing run.
So 3rd and 2.
This is a good little boot situation. This is a good little play-action situation.
I like to see him get out, and I like to see him run it. I think,
The other question you'd have to ask of your coach, are you willing to take two downs to score a touchdown, or are you going to go for the field goal? Because that's going to change this play call.
Right.
We finally got no timeouts on the board. I was looking at that.
Yeah.
Going,
yep.
I know we don't have any timeouts.
Yeah.
So why does it keep saying we do?
So they're in their base set. 2 receivers on although Schussler is in the ball game at the tight end on the right side. Keep an eye on him. But, boy, they are bunched up there in that box.
Oh, yeah, they have to respect the run, which
they fire. A nice pattern. Did he catch it?
Touchdown.
That's Jaron Pierce.
That's an out and up, by the way, from the 2-yard line.
And you got like 5 yards to do all your moves.
Exactly, and he did it.
Great.
It was an out and up.
Great catch, great pattern. The defender knew he was beat, too. He just threw his head up in the air.
That is not easy to do what they just did. I got news for you.
Very impressive drive for the Cougars, too.
It really was.
Using their timeouts.
We talked about that 4 minutes left in the half.
Right.
They ran the clock out and put it in the end zone. That's how you win football games.
Kick is up by Sinclair, and the kick is good. You know what I really liked, too, Coach, was there was no sense of chaos or that they were in a big hurry. They knew they had the timeouts, and they used them well. When they weren't ready, they'd call the timeout and get set. So, excellent drive.
It's been a characteristic of the Cougars all year. You haven't seen panic. When they went down against Ventura, they didn't panic.
Right. Fullerton.
When they went down against Fullerton, they didn't panic.
They were right there.
Even when Bakersfield went up 14 on us, we just did what we do.
Storming.
And we score points.
Yep. So there was a personal foul roughing the kicker on the PAT. They'll tack it on to the kickoff, which should mean that Sinclair should kick it out of the back of the end zone.
Good.
Yeah, don't give him a chance to return anything.
Run it back because these are dangerous returners.
So the Cougars take the lead 14-7 with 10 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Very impressive drive. Brito made some very good decisions. Didn't force anything. Logan had a couple nice runs. Actually, Eusebi's kicking. This should be no problem for him to get this out of the end zone.
Well, they do have a guy way deep.
Yep.
And it would be my guess that he would try to run it out.
Wow. And
that's
he kicked
not a very
it short.
good kick.
No. 4-yard line. This is Scott.
Very good kick.
And he's trying to get to the outside.
Yeah,
Finally
good
chopped
tackle.
down. Yep.
Good tackle.
So that'll bring it down to 4 seconds. Can't imagine Mount SAC would try anything crazy here.
No, they're not. We'll be in a 4 shell. We'll be deep.
They actually have DeShazer in the ball game at one of the deep safeties, or his leaping ability.
There's no Hail Marys from the 17-yard line.
I'm going to guess he'll take a knee.
But you know what you do here? The old hook and lateral.
Oh, yeah.
This is where you pull out one of those and see if you can get them biting on the first route and then just toss the ball out and see what happens. But we got 4 guys sitting back here in that shell, and they're just going to take a knee.
So that'll do it for the first half. The Cougars 14-7. Defense looks good. Offense good when they needed to be. And we'll come back a little very soon with some first half stats. COC football, SoCal College Sports. We'll come back to you. Welcome back to Cougar Stadium on the campus of College of the Canyons. We get ready for the second half of the Western State Bowl. The Cougars lead the Mount SAC Mounties 14-7, and the Cougars will receive here to open up the second half. Deep for the Cougars, Khalid Taylor along with R.B. Marlowe. Short kick, little pooch. The up back got to get on that. It's a live ball, and the Cougars do recover it. And it looks like it was number 35, Kajel Perry, for the Cougars. So talking about the first half, both defenses played very, very well. Both offenses well below their season put out on yardage. The Cougars only 163 yards in the first half, and the Mounties only 169. Both teams are averaging nearly 500 yards a game, so well below those numbers. So great defense on both sides. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Brito, he'll fire out here. Jaron Pierce makes the first guy miss, and he's banged down up near the 37-yard line. It'll be about a yard short of the first down for the Cougars. We'll give you Brito's numbers here in the first half. Fairly quiet. He was 13 of 21 for only 86 yards, but did have 2 touchdowns. 2nd and 1 for the Cougars. They give it to Logan. He's trying to get over the left side, but he's not going to be able to get much, and probably lost a couple. Brings up 3rd down. So they'll bring it back to the 34 and brings up 3rd down and 4. On the other side, Richard Stameti was 9 of 13 for 92 yards. Brito, he drops, fires out here to Holmes, looking for a block. Not going to get it. He'll be well short of the first down, should bring on the punt team. So a nice job by the Mount SAC defense, forcing a 3-and-out for the Cougars. Reiner did a nice job in that first half, as he had 2 punts. That was well set up by the Cougars, and the Mounties had nobody over there to defend it. And Reiner picks it up. All right, so there's a personal foul on the Cougars. Number 83, Jamian Sorono. But they will get the first down because it was dead ball after the completion of that play. The problem is they lose a lot of yardage. Still first down, but all the way back to the 36 of the Cougars, which is about near where they started. But it is a first down. So the Cougars will come out with trips to the near side. And Logan. Brito is going to give it to Logan. He's up the middle for a short gain of about 2. Brings up 2nd down. Still hot. Brings up 2nd down, 7. Late coming in is Jaron Pierce, and trips to the near side. Brandon Pierce in motion. Brito fakes it to him, throws it to Marlowe. He puts his head down up near the 40 for, again, a very short gain. Will bring up 3rd down. They've got to get to the 46, and they're at the 40, so 3rd and 6. Brito drops, looks, fires, and it's caught, and it's complete. Again, Jaron Pierce up to the 48, first down Cougars. So Pierce is the guy that he goes to when he needs to, it seems like. And they need the yardage. He'll get it up to the 49 to move the chains. So nice job by Pierce out of Alamany High School, the freshman. Bounce back. Now they're trying to figure out the substitutions. 2 guys come out. They'll go 2 receivers on each side. Pierce in motion. They'll give it to him on the fly sweep, trying to get outside, and he's run out of bounds after a pickup of 2.
Pushed out 21 on this 49.
But they are into Mountie territory at the 49. Second and 8 for Brito. Showing blitz. They fake it. Brito fires over the middle. Caught by Schuessler. He's inside the 40. That will be another first down for the Cougars, his first catch of the ball game. Schuessler, the tight end. Yeah, come on. Schuessler came into the ball game with 16 catches, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. Brito drops again. He fires on the near sideline, got Deshaun Holmes out here, and a flag comes down. So the ball was underthrown, but when the defender does not know where the ball is, they're going to throw that flag every time. Coach Lyon joining me again up here in the second half.
Number 2 was the defender.
Coach, it doesn't seem like they coach corners to ever look for the ball anymore. They just play the receiver.
Can't do that.
I mean, if you don't know.
The way I used to coach that is get on his hip, look back at the ball, and run him over. Physically change your angle to run into the receiver.
Okay.
But if you're looking back and you run the receiver over, you're not going to get called.
Exactly.
But if you're looking at the receiver and you do that,
which is what we just saw.
you're going to get a penalty.
And that ball was well underthrown, so had he been looking for it. But Brito throws again over the middle. This time Jaron Pierce again. He's at the 10, trying to get to the far corner. He's going to get in. Touchdown, Jaron Pierce.
Wow.
He is so good on those crossing routes, Coach.
Not just a stick route. He just outran people.
Yes, he did. Just set up right in the middle of the field, and then watch this. He's just
a stick route.
All the way to the far corner.
Yeah.
Great job by Jaron Pierce.
Way to come out of this halftime.
Yes. What a great call on the fake punt. Taking advantage of the trick play, Coach.
There you go.
You called it. Sinclair on for the PAT. Kick is up and kick is good. So Sinclair keeps his mastery going, and the Cougars extend their lead 21-7 with 9:59 to go here in the third. The Western State Bowl. Fullerton in the 4-man playoff has already won today. They beat Saddleback.
Oh, they did.
They did, and they'll move on to the Southern California Championship. And in the other game at halftime, it was 21-19 Riverside over Ventura.
Really?
Yes, so that's a tight ball game there. The other interesting bowl game was Bakersfield down at Long Beach, and Long Beach took care of Bakersfield pretty handily. Don't know the score off the top, but I'll get that for you, but they handled them pretty good. So Mount SAC is yet to see the field with their offense here in the second half. The Cougars appeared to go 3-and-out and then ran the fake punt and then scored after the drive was kept alive by Travis Reiner's run.
Showed some speed on that.
Yes, he did. He was in a hurry. Deep for Mount SAC is Chris Jackson, and it will be Jackson at about the 2. And he's going to try to come to the near line. Then he cuts back across the middle, has a little bit of room there. Got a little bit of room to the far side. KJ Latu, he's finally run out of bounds by the kicker, Louis Usibi, and a late flag comes in. I got to look at that again, Coach.
I don't know why there's a flag on that.
I mean, the contact was made right at the sideline, it looked like to me.
It wasn't late. It wasn't late. It might have been a taunting.
Okay.
It might have been a taunting penalty, but it was not a late hit.
Oh.
They called it a late.
Wow.
That's really a bad call.
You can see on the sidelines the contact was right on the line. But because it was such a big hit, I think that's why he threw it.
That's poor.
So that's a big break for the Mounties. That pushes them into Cougar territory up to the 40. Stametti still the quarterback. And in at the running back spot is Afonso Elam. It'll be Elam up the middle. A little bit of room there. He's knocked down Alonzo Reeves on the tackle.
Nice open field tackle.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't open field. But
Picked up 2 to the 38, 2nd and 8. Stemetti wants to throw. Now he's going to keep it. He fumbles it. He gets it back. Wow. That was fortunate.
he wanted that seam route.
Yep.
And it wasn't there. We did a nice job of walling that inside seam route, and he had nowhere to go with the ball.
Wow, was he fortunate to grab that back. So that'll bring up 3rd and 8. It's a good strip. I think it was Doreen Gerald on the strip. Stemetti wants to throw. He's got pressure. He fires on the near sideline. Khalid Taylor on the defense knocks it away, but he's going to get a flag. Well,
I thought it might have been offensive PI myself, but it's not going to be.
It was,
and that's really, I didn't see anything there.
I mean, there's just two guys going for the ball. Taylor's playing the ball.
There. Yes, he was. He was looking back for the ball. I didn't see anything there. I think that's 2 bad calls in a row.
Right.
Joe, I really do. That hit was not out of bounds. It wasn't late. And that was not PI.
And that was 3rd and 8, so that keeps the drive alive and gives them an automatic first down. So the Mounties are just rolling right now.
Oh, because of penalties.
Because of the penalties, exactly. So 1st and 10 at the 23. Stemetti will give it to Elam. He's up the middle. He's dragged down on the backside. So nice job there by Eric Banks.
Run defense has been real good.
On both sides.
Both sides.
If you looked at the first half numbers, very good. So a little bit of confusion, it looked like, on the coverage, but now Mount SAC's got 2 receivers on the far side that are lined up very close together. Now they'll slide Scott inside a little more. 2nd and 7. Stemetti wants to go to the big guy and a quick slant, and it's incomplete. That one they had covered up pretty well.
Yeah, they did.
He just missed him
on that slant.
So 3rd and 7 now. That's Hambrick. He's got the big matchup advantage at 6'6".
They haven't really thrown the ball up for him to go get it.
No, you're right. I mean, except that last one, but that was poorly thrown, and then he missed on the slant. Flag down, and is that Gerald that's going to drag him down? Yes, it is.
I think we're going to get an offsides call.
Maybe you decline that. Oh, offsides. I'm sorry.
On the Cougars. That would be my guess.
If so, this is just a horrible drive with the penalties. And I think you're right. Oh, okay.
Well, that'll
so
work.
It's just a warning. So the sack will count.
That'll work.
And that brings on the field goal unit. So Dorian Gerald with his 9th sack of the season, who, by the way, opened up his recruiting again this week, Coach. You saw that.
I did not see that.
You did
not see that.
With the firing of Butch Jones at Tennessee, where he was verbally committed, he's decided to open up his recruiting. Rodriguez in the kick. It is up. It looks good from here, and it is good. So Mount SAC gets on the board in the second half, 21-10 now. But, Coach, talking about that, one of the things that Coach Isenda mentioned in the pregame, which I thought was pretty neat, is Dorian Gerald had a recruiting trip planned for this weekend. Right. And he postponed that trip to play in this ball game, with Coach I thinking he's going to probably go on the trip and we're not going to have him this week. But he wanted to finish out the season with his teammates, for his coaches, and I think that's a class move on his part.
That shows you the character of him.
Yep.
And he's been here with us. You know, that guy's a Cougar.
Yeah.
And he likes it here, and I think he did the right thing. you know, I've had a lot of conversations with coaches about guys not playing in games just because of that reason.
Sure.
They're taking trips or they got a place to go and they don't want to get hurt, so I'm not going to play anymore.
Right.
It's an individual decision.
Sure.
And I get that, and I can respect that, but it sure is nice to see a young man
great.
play his last game at Cougar Stadium.
Absolutely.
And
you saw, you know,
player.
You know, you're seeing it more and more. You saw Christian McCaffrey last year with Stanford, didn't play in the bowl game, and you know, obviously that's higher stakes than we're at here, but still, a class move by Dorian Gerald.
Yep.
Short kick will be fielded at the 12. That's Khalid Taylor. He's right up the middle. Tries to hurdle and gets slammed down, but he's up around the 32-yard line.
Good return.
So the Mounties get some points on the board, 21-10 with 7:14 to go here in the third. So the offense will get another go at it here. They scored their first possession of the second half.
Still a 2-touchdown game. Oh, that's
or a touchdown, a two-pointer, and a field goal.
for a tie.
Yeah, for a tie.
For a tie.
But 2 touchdowns for the lead.
But you have to have 2 touchdowns for the lead, and you know my thing, Joe. It's always 3.
Yeah, yeah.
I want a 3-score
Let you breathe a little bit.
And we're not there.
Brandon
so don't
Pierce.
take your foot off the gas.
Right. Brito, and he is going to go down hard. So they came with a lot of pressure, and he never had a chance to set. Only got a chance to look at one guy, and by then it was over.
They were setting up that screen over here to the bottom of the left side here, and it never developed, and he had nowhere to go.
So Mount Sac maybe a little pump in their step.
Yeah, they got a few points out of that.
So they'll lose 7. Will bring up 2nd and 17. Brito fires low, but caught by Deshaun Holmes, but a very little gain.
I'd have liked to see him get a little chance to catch and run there.
Yes.
Because he would have got a few more yards out of that.
Holmes has been very quiet tonight, but is having an outstanding season, leading the Cougars in receptions and yardage and averaging over 18 yards a reception, 7 touchdowns. He'll be a guy that'll be getting out of here. Already has an offer from Lane Kiffin at Florida Atlantic, I understand.
Interesting.
Whoa, we got a guy coming across the line. Almost looked like he was pushed by his own guy, right? I thought I saw that.
That's exactly what he did.
So we'll get 5 back on the offsides. We'll bring it up 3rd and 8.
A little more manageable 3rd down.
Yes. Showing blitz again. Brito drops. He's going to roll to his left. Now he wants to go back to his right. As you said, Coach, don't give up on him.
See him?
Brito throws. Got a man open the far side. It's Lazarick. Incomplete. And that should have been PI because, again, the defender had no idea where the ball is, and he's face guarding. But the ball was underthrown. No flag this time. And that'll bring on Travis Reiner and the punt team.
Hey there, gentlemen.
Joining us now, Mike Zepeda. Hi, Mike.
Mike, how are you? You know, Joe, that's why I yelled at officials.
Yeah. And I understand why, because you call one way and one the other.
There'd have been 3 times I'd be yelling in this quarter already. I got a news for you.
And as we say that, Coach I screaming at the far side official.
Not even close. That was really poor.
Reiner with a spiral. Scott's going to go, actually gets blown out of bounds. And so not a great kick that time. And they'll spot it up at the 36. Thanks, Coach. Coach Line going to enjoy the rest of the ball game, I think, down on the sidelines. But Mike is here now. A little out of breath, but you're here.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, I bet. We've got a pretty good ball game here. 21-10, 5:19 to go in the third. So the Mountie offense got 3 last time out. Stemeti's going to give it to the first guy through. Big hole over the left side. Up near the first down marker goes Andre Walker. I don't think we've seen him since the first quarter. Spotted up. That'll be a first down up at the 46.
Well, Joe, I know there was some confusion as to who the starting quarterback tonight would be for Mount SAC. Unfortunately, their starter on the year lost late in the game last week versus Riverside.
We were wondering what happened because he obviously was the guy looking at the numbers.
Right.
And so tough break for the Mounties there and their big win against Riverside.
Knocked them out of the ranks of the unbeaten.
Yep. And at halftime, they were just up 21-19 over Ventura.
Right now, it's 26-21 last time I checked. So Ventura trying to make a run, spring the upset at Riverside. And Riverside maybe peaked too soon in the season, 9-0, and then last week dropping one at Mount SAC.
And if I'm right, Ventura, even though as good as they've been, have yet to play for a Southern California championship.
Yeah, it would be first time in school history.
Okay. Walker again, and this time he's up near the first down again. So it looks like Mount SAC is trying to assert themselves.
Good hard run.
With that big offensive line and their hard-running running backs, and they've got 5, 6, 7 of them they can put in there. So the Cougars could be getting a little fatigued here. Again, it's Walker again, and another first down. So 3 straight first downs on the ground.
Well, as good as they have been defensively, I think if there's one knock on the defense is the fact that they don't have a lot of depth.
Of course.
I mean, their first team is so good. We talk about Juice. We talk about Dorian Gerald. But who do you got behind that?
Yeah,
Gerald's out there the entire time. So, you know, I think I heard Chuck alluding to it earlier. Fatigue can become a factor. We see it right now with Mount SAC in a hurry up.
Ball knocked away. Nice play there. That was Juice on the far side knocking down Stemeti's pass. We'll bring up 2nd and 10. And we talked about Mount SAC's offensive line. Their right tackle's 390. Their left tackle's 380. So, you know, that's a lot of weight to be pushing around for 60 minutes.
That's a lot of power.
Run again, Walker again. This time he's met in the hole and wrapped up, and he gets some help. So great job by KJ Latu, and Alonzo Reeves finishes him up.
Reeves, if memory serves, leading tackler on the season for the Cougars.
Correct. And KJ Latu is having himself a ball game.
Well, he's had himself a year. He's been fantastic throughout 2017. And man, what a season for the Cougars. 8-2 coming in. I mean, you could have made a case for them being in the SCFA Final Four.
No question. And Mount SAC?
Both of them.
Both of them. 3rd and 8. Stemeti is forced from the pocket. Wants to throw, does, finds his man over the middle, and down goes Coleman well into Cougar territory. So a nice job by Stemeti to buy himself some time.
Yeah, throwing against the grain, back against his body.
Moves it up to the 16-yard line, 1st and 10. In the red zone are the Mounties. Fires out there again. Puts his head down, kind of squeaks his way forward.
Hey, it's positive yardage.
Yes.
We'll take that every day of the week.
Demetrius Scott on the reception. Pick up a 4, 2nd and 6. We talked a little bit about it in pregame, Mike. The formula that was used to figure out who was going to get that 4th spot was very, very interesting. Saddleback, COC, and Mount SAC were all right there. We're talking tenths of a percentage point separating the 3 teams.
20
run. Walker again, he's up near another first down. So the Mounties on the move.
Talk about the only losses on the season for College of the Canyons. I mean, Fullerton, undefeated, #1 team in the nation.
If late flag comes in.
It's early movement? No, extra man on the field.
Yeah, the Cougars. Okay, so it was a good call because they couldn't get their defensive guys off the field in time.
Is that their 2nd burn timeout this half?
I don't think so. I think it's just 1.
First one.
Going
back to the point that we were trying to make, their only losses are to Fullerton and to Ventura. Ventura's #4.
And so that's a great argument. And then you look at Mount SAC's argument was we're 8-2 as well, and we beat 2 of the teams that are in the Final Four, Riverside and Ventura.
Yeah.
So everybody had a legitimate argument. It came down to opponents' victories, which Saddleback and Mount SAC's opponents had 51 wins. So they were tied. Cougars had 50 wins. Then the next category was opponents' number of wins, where the Cougars had the advantage there, but it's weighted differently.
Right.
So the weight of your opponents' was a little bit more than your opponents. And anyway, it was very, very close. And I think any one of these three teams had a legitimate argument, but it is what it is. And
well, you hate
we ended up with a great ball game here.
You take the week off. Hey, how about you play that week off? And then you have 6 teams make the SCFA finals. Maybe that's something to talk about.
1st and goal at the 5. Cougar defense is tired, no question. And it's going to be Stemeti himself. Puts his head down. He's hit at the line. He might have gotten one, but a good forced push by the blue shirts. You know, a touchdown here by Mount SAC, and this is going to be a very interesting game. They're trying to go hurry up here again, so that the Cougars cannot substitute.
Yeah, and why not? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. $109 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 21-10, Cougars lead. Stemeti wants to throw. Knocked away again. Bobby Brown from his free safety spot.
Bobby Brown nearly caused an interception there on the deflection. See if we can get a replay here, Matty.
Was he blitzing? Is that why he was so, or he was just uptight?
I think he was just reading the quarterback's eyes, and Brown makes a play.
So 3rd and 4. Big play here. Let's see if they try to. They've had all their success so far running the football. They're going to try to throw it again with the size advantage, and he overthrows the big receiver, Hambrick. And that'll bring up 4th down. Interesting call, Mike. They've had so much success running the ball on this drive, yet they get down at the 5 and they throw a couple of passes, and that forces on the field goal unit.
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting call, but at the same time, I think Stemeti has made a couple plays in this drive to allow the coaching staff to have that confidence to throw it on 3rd down.
Yep.
But a win for the Cougars is they force a field goal situation here. 53 seconds to play, 3rd quarter, 21-10. Cougars looking very good here as we head into the 4th quarter.
21-yard attempt for Rodriguez. 14 out of 20, so not a great percentage. And he missed it.
Right on cue, Joe. That's a good call.
Wow. Dorian Gerald may have gotten a piece of that.
Is that the broadcaster's jinx in a nutshell?
Yeah, exactly.
Well done, my friend.
Thank you. So
let's see if Gerald doesn't get. I mean, he's creating pressure.
Yeah. So the kick goes left, no good, and the Cougars maintain their 21-10 lead, and that's a big victory for the defense.
Absolutely. I mean, you come away with no points, and now still a 2-score game.
Sure. So now the offense has to do their job. They've got to give the defense some time to recover here.
Yeah, you have to sustain a drive here for the Cougars.
Brito and Logan. It's going to be a throw over the middle to Schussler, and he dropped it. It did hit
Lazarick. No, it's Schussler.
It did hit him in the hands.
Well, he threw it behind him, but with good reason. I think it's almost a back shoulder throw down the seam to Schussler, and Schussler usually very sure-handed. Freshman unable to come up with that catch.
They've thrown that play once earlier, and it was complete, but not so on that one. Brings up 2nd and 10. Brito throws in and out of the hands of Pierce. That was a little bit high, but should have been caught.
Pierce with a 24-yard touchdown earlier in this half.
That was a brilliant touchdown reception he had, but now the Cougars are facing 3rd and long, and they've only taken about 8 seconds off the clock with 2 incompletes.
Well, the run defense has been pretty stifling here for Mount SAC, so, I mean, there's really that's 5.
Yep.
Free play.
And far side, incomplete, looking for DeShazer.
He'll take it, though.
But they'll take it. So we'll bring up 3rd and 5.
And that completely changes the playbook because now you're looking at a quick out for 5, maybe an out and up. You bait somebody out of the secondary. Mount SAC working one-on-one. They've been pretty good this half, but referee's not exactly doing the Cougars any favors.
Quiet night so far for Deshaun Holmes. Let's see if maybe they could try to get him involved.
Yeah, here comes the kitchen sink if you're Mount SAC.
Yep. And they're not even afraid to show it. They're just coming up. Here they come. Got to get rid of it. He does, and is that caught by Jaron Pierce?
It
is. So Jaron Pierce is the guy. He's the underneath crossing route guy that Brito loves to go to in big situations, and he comes up again. So great job by Pierce to get his arms underneath. And that's going to do it for the third quarter.
We'll see the replay on this play. And just a great route here by Pierce. And he's right. I mean, it's a perfect route.
Yep.
Because he goes up 5 yards and then turns in slight slant there and just did not do anything. He just executed to perfection. Brito puts it on the money.
Good
Only
job.
where his guy can catch it to
Yep.
first down. You extend the drive. Now you get the break at the end of the quarter. And we will rejoin you in just a little bit here on SoCal College Sports. Back in a moment. Love this music.
We are back for the final quarter of the 2017 season for these two teams, Cougars and the Mounties. 1st and 10. Brito's going to give it to Logan. He's hit and wrapped up immediately for a loss of almost 2. Fourth quarter, Cougars lead 21-10 in the Western State Bowl. The number 5 and 6 ranked teams just left out of the 4-man playoff, but hoping to finish the season with a win would give either team their 9th victory of the season. Call that a loss of 1, 2nd and 11 for Brito. He's got heavy pressure. Look out. He throws it. There is a receiver in the area.
Does he get it back to the line of scrimmage?
That's
though?
the question. It's very, yeah.
Well, honestly, I don't know if it matters if you have a receiver in the area. Yeah, we got a barn burner in Riverside. 35-33. They're in the 4, 10:59 to go.
Who leads?
Riverside on top by 2.
Riverside, 35-33. Wow.
And early in that game, at the end of the first quarter, Jake Constantine, starter all year, pretty much for Ventura, he had solidified himself over Ricky Town. Was injured with a leg injury, had to be carted off. So.
And Town's gone the rest of the way?
And Town's been very good.
3rd and 11.
I mean, Ricky Town, a former 5-star recruit, went to the SEC. Obviously, things didn't work out there. A couple of coaching staff changes, came back, and wanted to work on his craft at Ventura College.
3rd and 11. Brito off the back foot has to throw it out of bounds because of the pressure. So the Mount SAC defense is really stepping up now big here in the second half of this ball game, but the Cougar defense is matching them so far, only giving up the 3 points. And that'll bring on Travis Reiner. Demetrius Scott is deep to receive the punt. And they may have Brito, I don't want to say rattled, but he's on his heels a little bit right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's tough.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're big and they're athletic.
And, both trenches for COC, not a lot of depth.
No. So Reiner, good kick. It's going to be Scott with a fair catch at about the 26-yard line.
Well, if it's a battle, the defense is the rest of the way. You have to like your chances. You're in the fourth quarter. You're up 11, and you got the likes of Chukwu,
right?
Dorian Gerald, just a lot of firepower in that defensive unit. But can they stand the war of attrition?
And can they force Mount SAC to throw the ball? I think that's the weakness of their offense. I think they're stronger running the ball. So if you can keep them from getting big gashes running the football, you can hopefully force them to the pass.
Agreed.
1st and 10. Stemeti with the throw. Hit immediately. Ooh, big hit there.
That's a great finish on that tackle.
Yep.
Is that Bobby Brown?
Didn't come in with his helmet. So
that's Latu finishing that tackle.
Short gain of 2 up to the 29.
That's putting somebody on their keister.
Yeah. Trying to go with the pace now is Stemeti, and he's looking to throw again. This time he wants to go deep. It's underthrown, You have to look for the ball.
You have to
don't
turn your head.
understand it.
You have to. You know what I don't understand though, even more so. Exact same play. You flipped the jerseys though earlier in that third quarter, and that should have been a flag on Mount Sac. See the replay here. It's a clear penalty because the defensive back doesn't turn his head. He just jams the receiver on the route as it's underthrown. I mean, if anything, that's an underthrow by design.
And I tell you, I was talking to Coach Lyon about it, and they don't coach them to look for the ball anymore, and I'll never understand that because when I came up, and even Coach Lyon said when he coached get to the hip and then turn your head. Yeah. And they don't do that anymore, and that's why you see so many pass interference calls because the defender has no idea where the ball is. If he had turned around, it would have been an interception.
It's the little things, Joe.
Khalid Taylor was the defender. First and 10, fumble. And
they're on it.
I think the Cougars might have it. Let's see.
There's a flag at the end of this, and I wonder if this is maybe a late face mask. Oof. I thought the Cougars got there first. Can we see a replay here, Maddie?
Cougar ball. But let's see what the flag is. Juice comes up with it.
Juice.
That is a huge turnover if it holds. They're going to pick up the flag, it looks like. That'll be a decline.
Yeah,
so,
I think he'll take the turnover.
Yeah. So Juice comes up with a big play for the Cougar defense, and I had to check myself. That might be the first turnover of the ball game for the Cougars. They'll spot it at the 39. Now, in the first half, Mike, they ran no back set. Every time they did it, San Antonio blitzes, Mount San Antonio blitzes. Let's see if they continue the pattern. And here they come. By design. And this is R.B. Marlowe. Just gets a little outside up to the 32.
I'm surprised I don't see a flag on that play because the defender's still pulling after the boundary.
So they'll back it up to the 33. So a nice pickup of 7 there for R.B. Marlowe. But obviously that's what Mount Sac did all week was when they show no backs, we are blitzing. And so far the Cougars have had pretty good success against it. Second and 3. Showing blitz again. Got to get the play off. They do. Brito looking. He fires, going for Deshaun Holmes, but it's out of bounds. So incomplete there. Again, a bit of a back foot throw for Brito.
Brito. He's just been so good all season. We look forward to having him back next year.
I got to say, I almost feel like he looks a little bit tired. He ran around a lot in that first half, avoiding the rush.
Yeah.
And I wonder if, late season is starting to get to him a little bit.
Well, you got to suck it up.
And they're going to blitz again and looking for the screen, and he has to throw it out of bounds again. So, again, he's on the run. And, again, the Cougars having trouble with the Mount Sac blitz.
Well, most teams do every year.
True.
This isn't anything new. And is this 4-down territory? Possible pooch punt. I think we've seen a couple pooch punts this season, if memory serves, from Brito.
So Brito will stay in, and they're going to go back to the no back set, empty set, because Schuster comes in, Logan checks out.
They go a little heavy up front.
I think they're going to try to get him off sides again. Let's see.
Might be right.
See if they can get
have 2 timeouts to burn
to
plays down. 5 seconds on the play clock.
Oh, they're going to run one. Got to get rid of it. Oh. And so incomplete. He went over the middle. A late flag comes in.
That's an easy call. Let's see the replay here, Matty. That's an easy call.
Yep.
Because what happens here is that the defender makes contact with the receiver right before the ball gets there.
Yes.
And you see it. And it's an incompletion. You see the Mount Sac player going nuts thinking that he made a play. Well, you contacted the receiver before the ball got there. It's going to be a first down.
And obviously the Mount Sac coaches are not going to like this call, but
it's the correct call.
The one that was on the far sideline.
It's pretty plain. It's pretty cut and dry when you look at the replay.
Yeah, Coach Jastrab is beside himself on the far side.
He should have. I mean, obviously, he's going to go to bat to his first
Sure,
player.
sure.
You have to understand, in that situation, you have to time it better.
So a big break for the Cougars.
Pretty bang out there. And look for Schussler right here. He's in the seam. Just a matchup nightmare for anybody. Can you buy Brito a little time here, though?
Oh, now we got some movement. So got a little bit too much of a hurry there to get the play off.
The silver lining is you do get the new set of downs.
Yep. So it'll be 1st and 15 now. They'll back it up to the 34.
You can kill some clock here, and also the big thing is buying some time for the defense.
Yep.
Get those batteries recharged.
Yes.
It's a very brisk evening here in Santa Clarita. Happy you joined us, everybody. www.socalcollegesports.com.
Marla, look out. And they get it off to Holmes. He's looking for a little room. Oh, nice job defensively out there because that was set up really nice for some positive yardage.
Holmes has got some moves.
That was Latre Jaquez, the DB, who wrapped up Holmes for a pickup back to the original line of scrimmage.
Look at his jump here, and that's a big chunk play saver.
That was one little move away from a touchdown, but 2nd and 9 now.
I don't know about touchdown, but it definitely would have been at least a first down.
Holmes, again, been very quiet. Here comes blitz again. Brito throws middle. I think that could have been interference again. A late flag comes in, and look out.
Got to be careful here.
And it comes in
flag. Good. This is going to go.
But the first one, depends on the first one who that's on because these could be offsetting.
Could be offsetting.
Although one's dead ball.
You'll take offsetting.
Yeah. But one could be dead ball after the play.
Yeah, and when you add it all up, this should be a net 5 yards if it's a hold on the Cougars, which you have to suspect that it is.
So we'll march that off. That's a first down. And first down. There you go, Mike.
And you'll take it.
Absolutely.
Well, because it's dead ball, that's where you get the new set of downs here.
Right.
You mark off another 5, so take it down to the 23, and you got a new set.
Because 10 back for the holding, 15 forward for the unsportsmanlike, and the first down. So
I'm no math guy, but I can walk off 5 yards.
Plus 5 is good. We know that, right? So up to the 23 now after all that. And as you talked about, the defense getting a nice rest here. So Logan back in the backfield. Brito looking. He fires, and another late flag comes in. I think we're going to get another hold. So a lot of trouble right now with that Mount SAC rush.
I think
but it's been
going to go against the Cougars here,
Joe. Yeah, that's what ineligible, man.
Ineligible downfield.
Second time we've seen that. So now we're back to first and
15.
First and 15.
Back at the 28.
Okay, that's an interesting call. But whether it's the holding calls or the pressure, the Cougars have actually withstood it fairly well on this drive. But they've got to get some positive yardage here that doesn't come from a penalty.
RCC now up 2 scores, 42-33. Vic Viramontes continues to wreak havoc in the SCFA.
Again, blitz. They're coming with everything, every play. Brito, now he pitched a nice play. He's got Logan at the 20, out at the 10. Inside the 10-yard line goes Jalen Logan, and what a play by Andrew Brito.
What incredible patience here from Brito. He sucks in 3/4 of the defense and then pitches it out. I mean, that is RPO and a perfect read option from Andrew Brito.
First and goal at the 8 for the Cougars. 11:09 to go here in the fourth quarter.
That's taking advantage of the aggression, aggression from Mount SAC defensively.
Logan, he's hit immediately and driven down. No gain. Second and goal. So the Cougars should run again. This play clock should get run down They're inside 25 seconds. They should run it down to get inside of 10. Lazarik's all by himself on the far side. Brito wants to throw. Again forced. Oh, don't throw it up for grabs. He throws it out of the back of the end zone. Okay, a smart play.
Well, luckily, you have that kind of arm that Brito does.
And for a sec, I thought it was going to get held up there. It might be a jump ball, but got it out. It'll bring up 3rd and long. They're going to have to – I think they need to get him out of the pocket on a design. He's being forced from the pocket, but that's not the same as a rollout.
Right.
And with that pressure – he's not going to be able to set up in the pocket.
Yeah,
they're just not able to do that for him.
They're not dictating the pocket or
right.
where it ends up. They are being dictated to, and obviously not a recipe for success.
Right.
You can only make so many plays. And as you talked about, Brito looks a little gassed.
And Coach I is going to call a timeout here with 3rd and 8. 10:15 to go in the ball game. The Cougars lead 21-10. SoCal College Sports and College of the Canyons football. Welcome back to the 4th quarter here. You know, Mike, I wanted to mention some of the sophomores that are playing their final game here in front of this Cougar Stadium crowd. Kicker Lewis Usibi, defensive back Justin Dennison, Hitaki Kanazawa, R.B. Marlowe, Keelan White, Deshaun Holmes, Austin Davenport. What a just great story of perseverance for that young man. Ethan Lazarick, Darren Blackshear, the quarterback, Hunter Schusler, Alonzo Reeves. We'll come back to name some of those guys, but just want to give them a shout for their last home game here in front of the Cougar crowd. 3rd and 8 for the Cougars. Actually, 3rd and goal from the 8. Marlowe in motion. Brito keeps it, wants to throw. Pressure, throws it out of bounds, incomplete. So again, the Mount Sac pressure causes an incomplete. And it's going to bring on Sinclair and the field goal unit, since he took over the chores, has been perfect. Last week, field goals and PATs, and so far tonight, 3 for 3 on PATs. It's like a 25-yarder. Reiner is the holder from the left hash. Sinclair kick is up, and it's blocked. And there's a scrum. Still no whistle. Now they finally blow the whistle, so the kick is no good.
Be careful here.
Yep. So no points there for the Cougars, but they did give their defense a chance to rest up a bit with 10 minutes to play in the ball game. Back to some of those sophomores we talked about. Alonzo Reeves, Shadrick Lowry, Robert Franklin, Jalen Logan, Travis Reiner, DeAndre Henderson, Kajel Perry, Bonte Freeman, Noel Uchukwu, Travis Bird, Juice, Chase Mayo, Christian Lofton Grady, Braden Bateman, Miguel Garcia, Christian Conscious, Tate Renaud, Cray Brady, Dorian Gerald. Those are the sophomores finishing up here. 1st and 10 for the Mounties. They want to go deep over the middle. Bobby Brown, and it's overthrown everybody. So Bobby Brown had a little help on the inside.
Thank goodness.
Yes, but the ball was overthrown. Does stop the clock, but it brings up 2nd and 10. The Cougar defense trying to come up big here. They did come up with a turnover their last series.
Well, you're probably not going to see a lot of runs.
At this stage, right. And I still believe that this is they would prefer to see Mount Sac throwing the ball.
Agreed.
And they will here down over the middle. That's Scott, their leading receiver. He'll be up near a 1st down depending on the spot, and they're going to give it to them. So they'll move the chains. And looks like Mount SAC wants to pick up the pace a bit here. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. 21-10, Cougars lead. Again, throw in the middle. Oh, in and out of the hands.
That was tapped.
And that was Scott. And he turned his head, see how much room he had in front of him.
We'll see the replay here. That's a linebacker dropping. Is that Alonzo Reeves that gets a hands on it?
Yeah, I think you're right. Getting great depth there. 2nd and 10. Shimetti, knee is down. That's Coleman, or short gain. Pickup of 6 will bring up 3rd and 4. Cameron Coleman, the sophomore. So big play here. 9 minutes to go. Schmetti fires, knocked away. Dorian Gerald again with a batted down pass.
Shocker, I know.
Great job by Gerald. So Stemetti, it's 4th down, and I think that the Mounties don't have a choice. With 9 minutes to go, you got to punt it here.
Yeah, plenty of time still up there. I mean, you're down by 2 scores, and now your defense just has to hold, and your defense has been fantastic here, really, in all of the third quarters, or in the fourth quarter, rather.
Sean Walsh to punt. Leroy DeShazer and Brandon Pierce are deep. And they're going to let it bounce, saying get away from it, short punt. And they'll knock it down and at about the 35. So Cougars doing a good job. Again, their defense was rested on that drive. They came up with some big plays. Dorian Gerald knocking down the 3rd down pass. And 1st and 10 now at their own 35.
Well, how do you combat lack of depth? Your offense sustains a drive and you burn a lot of clock.
Right, and you stay in shape.
Yeah, well, yeah, that helps. I haven't been in shape in 12 years. Decade
you could probably double that for me, my friend. So Brito, now let's see the Cougars offensively. Do they continue to try to throw it with that pressure? Do they try to run? Let's see what Coach I and the offense does.
Got to hurry.
Just get it off. Low snap, and Brito can only fall on it. So Tate Renaud, a little issue there with the snap, and they'll lose 5 and bring it up 2nd and 15 back at the 30.
You know, I'm surprised that they don't bring in maybe even an extra back. I mean, obviously we know they've been operating in no back set a lot of this game, but you have to bring in some protection and protect Andrew Brito from making a mistake.
Absolutely, especially if he's getting tired. 2nd and 15 now. Again, they show blitz, and they do. And Brito, this time he gets it to Holmes. Now he's got a little bit of room. He got some room at the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Finally knocked out of bounds. And that is all tightrope walking was good. And out of bounds goes Deshaun Holmes, his biggest play of the night.
We'll see the replay here.
I thought he was out.
Well, I mean, we're going to find out right
No, I
here.
mean, yeah, it was a mistake. I thought right here he'd gone out of bounds, but he stayed in.
Walking a tightrope.
And that's a good play that'll help ease that pressure if you can get those screens going.
How about Noah Alusi getting downfield and making a play? That's your defensive lineman coming all the way back to track down a wide receiver.
Brito, again pressured, going to try to run it himself, and he gets buried and wrapped up after pickup of maybe 1 or back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Andrew running for his life out there.
For his life. The clock runs. That's good. We're inside 7:25. No gain. We'll call it 2nd and 10. The ball is spotted at the Mountie 32-yard line. So right now, Mount SAC is just saying you're going to have to beat our guys one-on-one because we're bringing the house every play. Brito, a little bit of option. He's going to keep it. He's got a little room up the middle. He tries to slide. He does, but up to the 28-yard line. Pickup of 5 brings up 3rd down.
There's a momentary hole there, but really not much doing. It's Brito. Does pick up some positive yardage.
Yep. Brito wants to throw. This time he sets. He's going for Deshaun Holmes. And, almost caught on the underthrow, but incomplete. Brings up 4th down. So what do you do now? I don't know that this is in field goal range, and it looks like the offense may stay on the field.
See the replay here, and that nearly gets through. Oh.
Whew. So they're waiting for a call. 4th and.
Not going to see that call for a while. You're going to let this clock tick down.
Although the clock has stopped because of the incomplete. So 4th and a long 5. Brito, he fires, and it's caught right at the marker. That's going to be enough for a 1st down, and that's Ethan Lazarick finishing up his career here at COC. Good job by Lazarick, sure-handed. 1st down Cougars, and that hurts for Mount Sac.
You want to talk about pinpoint accuracy. Andrew Brito puts that on the money, right in the numbers.
Great route for that pressure. Now they'll let that thing run. They shouldn't snap it till they're around 5 seconds. Brito's watching, waiting. Here they come with a blitz. Gives it to Logan. Logan hit. He falls forward for a few.
Tackled by 91. Looks like the ball's going to be at 17. 17-yard line. Yes.
Second and 7. Call him. He'll pick up.
Inside 5:25 to go. 2nd and 7. Brito on a half roll right. He wants to throw back. He's got Schuessler out there. He's at the 10, 5, reaches for the pylon. I don't think he's going to get there. Hunter Schuessler, what an excellent play call for that rush, the throwback to the tight end. And it'll be 1st and goal Cougars.
You see the replay here, and that's just great play design, great execution. Schuessler, the big matchup nightmare.
First and goal at the 3 for the Cougars. It's going to be Brito himself. He slips down. He's up near the 1.
Yeah, he's on the doorstep.
11. 1-yard line.
Clock runs inside of 4:30 to play in the ball game. Again, they should let this play clock wind down. Could get it inside of 4 minutes. 2nd and goal. Brito to Logan. He'll be short. Still on his feet, but a host of white jerseys wraps him up. Bring up 3rd and goal.
They're going to back it up a yard.
Yeah.
Well, again, terrific penetration up front for Mount Sac. And, man, they have been devastating in the trenches. But time ticking down in the Western State Bowl. Looking like it's going to go to the Cougars here.
Trying to put a finishing touch here. Touchdown would about put this thing away.
Yeah, well, you know, it's Thanksgiving coming up, so looking for some gravy to pour on this one.
Timeout. Is it an injury? No, he's got to. So Logan's got to come out. He must have some blood coming, or a. Oh, it's a shirt issue. He's got a shirt hanging out from his
Wardrobe
long sleeve shirt.
Not of the Super Bowl variety.
Right. Forrest Carter will check in at the running back. Third and 2. 3rd and goal from the 2.
Both work.
Brito keeps himself. He'll walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Andrew Brito.
Oh.
So nice read. There's a big hole opened up by the guys up front.
Coffin nail several of them.
Yes.
6 of them, to be exact.
You know, last
hammered
year,
in by Andrew Brito.
Last year, the Mounties took it to the Cougars in the bowl game 27-3.
Yeah.
So a little repaying of that tonight.
Cougars returning the favor. Dorian Gerald, a member of that team.
Kick is up. Sinclair's kick is good. 28-10 with 3:39 to go here in the ball game. The Cougars hoping that that is the final nail.
Well, it's a 3-score game at this point. So, you know, it's just a terrific job by this coaching staff for College of the Canyons. And Coach Iacenta just has to be really proud of his group as a whole. They're going to get to 9 wins this season. That's impressive.
It is. And if I remember correctly, I think it's been, don't know that we've had 9 wins since 2008. So about 10 years.
Yeah. Before Coach Iacenta's time, I believe.
Before Coach I's time. It was Coach Garrett Tujay's second season, I believe.
Well, we hope to be back for a second season here on SoCalCollegeSports.com covering Canyons football. And it's been a pleasure this year, Joe. Just great to have you on board and working with us. And great to be working with this program, just doing a lot of good things here at College of the Canyons.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. Appreciate you guys, and I think you guys do a great job. And I hope it'll be a long relationship. So UCB with the kick, short. Jackson right up the middle. Now this could be dangerous. You got to keep contain out there. UCB, the kicker, again runs him out of bounds. So pretty good job on the return team by Mount SAC. And they've got pretty decent field position. They're down 18 with 3:29 to play. So you hope that your defense is somewhat rested. You don't give up any big plays here. Stemeti's going to have to throw every down.
We got it at the 41, right? Yeah. Okay.
Let's see if Coach Dan Corbett, defensive coordinator, they're going to rush 4 and drop 7. Stemeti, pump fakes, lays it out here in the flat to Scott. He gets run out of bounds, short of the first down. Dorian Gerald is out of the ball game right now, so I think that might be it for him.
May have played his final snap.
They probably, why take a shot on him getting hurt, something silly. You got a bright future ahead of him.
Absolutely. That's somebody we might be seeing playing on Sundays.
Absolutely. First down completion for the Mounties.
Anytime you have a defensive lineman with that kind of power and talent, here
he
goes. We say that, Gerald back,
he comes back in.
I need to give him
and that's
praise.
him, though. He wants to go back in.
Anytime you see a guy with that type of speed and power, he runs with the wide receivers. I mean, that gives you an idea of what kind of athlete he is.
I was here at practice on Thursday, and they were doing a little fun thing, running some 7-on-7, and he was at wide receiver. And he was running routes and catching balls.
That's just incredible.
Yeah. And beating guys. I mean, it wasn't like an easy deal.
Creating separation, go figure. I mean, you're probably not going to do that in the SEC, but, I mean, in terms of trying to get the edge as a pass rusher, that's going to work pretty well for you.
Stemeti wants to throw. He had some pressure. Throws over the middle, and it's caught. Nice catch out there by Coleman. Brought down by Khalid Taylor. So very hurry-up mode now. 2:40 and counting for the Mounties. Stemeti's gone the whole way. As Mike said, their starter hurt last week against Riverside. First and 10 at the 19. He fires into the end zone, out of bounds, incomplete. And a late flag comes in.
Yeah, I think there was some contact in there.
I think the Cougars are going to get hit for a late hit out of bounds on the quarterback.
Come on. You got to be smart in that. 2:18 to go. Are you trying to blow out the candles?
Give them life.
Back out. Yeah, it was Jayavi Magale, starter on the season, up until the final quarter of play last week versus Riverside. 2 weeks in a row, Riverside knocks out the starter.
Wow.
They did so today, and they move on to win. They will play Fullerton in the SCFA Championship.
Which will be a rematch of last year's SCFA Championship, I believe.
Yeah, those two teams, two programs, very familiar with each other.
14.
Stametti in the end zone. That's caught for a touchdown. And Cougars gave that one up pretty quickly. They got to be smart about what's going on here. This thing is not over.
See the replay here, just pretty good execution. Stametti, you know, in spot duty and in relief coming in this week, he's been pretty good.
Yes. No, he.
Flashing an arm, got some pretty good zip on the ball.
It looks like they're going to go for 2, so the Cougars defense has to rush back out onto the field. So it's 28-16 right now. They're trying to get it to 10.
Yeah. Well, I think this has more to do with their lack of faith in the kicking game.
Could be. Although he's been good on PATs. It's just the field goals he's struggled. He's like 48 of 49 on PATs. Oh, trying to go Wildcat. And Walker's going to go down. Nice job out there on the tackle. That's Khalid Taylor.
That's great diagnosis defensively.
So that'll keep it at a 3-score or 2 touchdowns, I should say.
Yeah.
Whereas had they gotten it a touchdown, a field goal would have tied it up. Now they're
you need two
touchdowns to win. .2:13 to play. 28-16, the Cougars lead Mount SAC. Watch for the onside here. The hands team is in. Here it is, a hard one, and it's going to get out to the far side. And he fumbled it. He wanted to return it, then he fumbled it. So R.B. Marlowe had it, started to run. It got stripped, and Khalid Taylor came up with it. So very fortunate for the Cougars.
Flag on the field, and I think this is
offsides.
Yeah.
We talked about in pregame, but back in 08, Mike, when you were, I think you were still in elementary school probably, but
wow. I appreciate that.
Mount SAC came here. The Cougars were 12-0 and the #1 seed in the playoffs, and personal foul in Canyons. So 1st and 10. They'll receive.
I moved in with my future wife.
Okay. But the Cougars had gotten to within, I believe, a point with a few seconds left, tried an onside, kicked it right at the guy. The Mount SAC guy returned it for a touchdown, and that was the ball game. And they lost 51-44. And Mount SAC went on to play in the state championship. I believe they lost that year as well, but it was an incredible ball game.
I believe.
Yes, but the Cougars had a great season. They went 10-0, and then we're 12-0 until going into that championship game. So Brito's going to give it to Marlowe. He's going to get thrown down for a loss, but the clock will run at the 30, and we'll be inside 2 minutes to play. And so Mount SAC did have all 3. They just called their first at the 2-minute mark, so 2-minute warning basically, as the Cougars lose about 6 yards. So yes, the Cougars, they can close this out. We'll finish with 9-2. Coach Iasenda's best win total in his 5 seasons here. His first year, they went 8-3. They did win the conference championship that year. Got to the 4-man playoff, lost to Fullerton in the first round. So went 8-3, but this will get him to 9 wins. Be his best win total yet. He talked about what a joy this team was. Had a nice chat with him before the game, and how much this staff enjoyed coaching this group of guys, and how happy they would be to send them out a winner.
Well, looks like he's going to be able to do just that.
Brito's going to toss it to Logan. He cuts back. He's tripped up. Pickup of a couple. And now Mount SAC will call their second timeout. But so they really talked about that and what a neat group of kids this was and how they all enjoyed themselves. And he particularly mentioned Dorian Gerald, who rescheduled his recruiting trip for this weekend so he could play in this ball game when nobody would have batted an eye had he said, I'm going to go take my recruiting trip. So he wanted to finish what he started here, and he did in a big way. So.
Obviously, this is a program that means a lot to him, and Coach High has done a lot for that young man. And,
yes.
He's done a lot for every man on this program.
Yes.
And it just kind of speaks to the growth and the trajectory of this program, where it's going.
Absolutely. On the upswing for sure. Like you said, something they can just get a little more depth here.
Yeah, a couple years ago, they had a pulse, and now, this isn't just a full-on heartbeat. I mean, they are a player.
Yeah. No doubt.
In the SCFA.
I was looking today at some of the scores of the teams. They held Fullerton to their lowest point total on the season.
Of the season.
Burrito with a fake toss, keeping himself. You don't want to see him get hurt late in the ballgame like that.
Yeah, and not a shock. I mean, the defense is just outstanding.
Yeah, they've been solid all year. They lost a tough one to Ventura.
I mean, Ventura is so good this year.
And don't forget that the Cougars spotted them 21 points.
They didn't do themselves any favors.
Before it was even, it was down. They were down. They turned it over 3 times in the first 10 minutes. And there's no way you're going to win against a team like Ventura doing that. So they fought back. They lost by 15 and then lost to Fullerton, which beat everybody. So they beat a very good Long Beach team. And now they're going to beat a very good Mount SAC team.
Like you said, 9 wins on the season. Just a very impressive win total here in 2017. Joe, I'm going to step away here. I'll be back and see if we can get a mic down on the field.
That would be incredible. So it'll bring up 4th down. Reiner will come in to punt with 1:49 to go. Let's see if Mount SAC will come after this punt. Scott is deep. Lonzo Reeves late coming in. Gets it off quick. Nice kick, too. Scott's going to try to feel it. He's at the 28. He's upfield. He's got good speed. He's on the far side and gets to the corner about midfield, and he runs out of bounds. So Mount SAC has used all of their timeouts, but now they've got the ball back. They're down 28-16 with 1:35 to play. So Stametti will come in and try to get another quick drive as they did on their last drive. Cougars will go into a bit of a prevent, probably go 4 deep. Smetty drops, steps up, fires out here in the flat. It's caught by Hambrick. Puts his head down, runs forward. He's out of bounds. That'll stop the clock, and he'll have enough for a 1st down. They'll spot it at the 33 of the Cougars. Smetty drops again. Backside pressure. He's going to run forward. He's got a little bit of room. He's up near the 20, trying to get out of bounds, and he does right about the 20-yard line. So Stametti working the 2-minute drill pretty well right now. 1:19 to go. Mount SAC trails by 12. Trips to the far side. Smetty drops again. Looks, dumps it off, and it's dropped right at the middle of the field. So that'll stop the clock. Probably does Mount SAC more good that he dropped it. So 2nd and 10, just outside the 20. 1:15 to go. Walker in the backfield. Samedi drops, got pressure, rolls to his right, fires on the far side, and it's incomplete. They wanted to go to the big guy Hambrick out there, and it'll bring up 3rd and 10 with 1:07 to go. .107. Stamedi and Walker. Trips again to the far side. Juice chasing him from the backside. Stamedi throws and incomplete. Brings up 4th down. So Stamedi was able to get it off just before Juice grabbed him from the backside. Cougars have stepped up their pressure. So here it is. 59 seconds, 4th and 10. Stamedi goes. Cross incomplete. He wanted to go on the near side to Coleman, and that'll be a turnover on downs, and the Cougars will be able to run it out with 54 seconds to go and a 28-16 lead. So the Cougar defense comes up big again, and they're dancing on the sidelines. So Brito will just have to come in and take a couple of knees. Victory formation. Brito snaps, takes the knee. They'll set it one more time. And this will be the final snap of the 2017 season. And the Cougars are the Western State Bowl champions and finish the season at 9-2. Great way to end this season as they finish runner-up in the conference. And Coach I gets the Gatorade bucket. It's a little chilly right now, but he gets it, and there's hugs all around on the Cougar sidelines as they shake hands. So we're going to wind down the last couple seconds here. The Cougars win 28-16, Western State Bowl champs. They finish 9-2. Mount SAC goes to 8-3. And we're going to take a break. We'll come back and wrap this thing up and maybe have an interview or two with the winning coach and a couple of the players. We'll be right back. SoCal College Sports, College of the Canyons football. Back at Cougar Stadium on College of the Canyons campus, the Western State Bowl champions, College of the Canyons Cougars, defeat Mount SAC 28-16. As you look down on the middle of the field, they're having a bit of an awards ceremony for the ball game. Cameron Coleman, the receiver for Mount SAC, gets most valuable offensive player. And Coach Lyon, who's the Dean of Physical Education and Athletics here at COC, handing out those awards. Andrew Brito, looks like he's got one for himself. So it's a nice victory, nice way to end the season at 9-2 for the Cougars. The disappointment of not making the four-man playoff is fairly wiped away by a nice victory here. And I know Coach Lyon has a lot of respect for the Mount SAC program, and I think that's what he's telling them right now. In a very hard-fought game, and both teams have now come together at center field and are kneeling together. That's a nice thing to see as they both wrap up positive seasons. Mount SAC goes 8-3, and COC goes 9-2 as Coach I gets the trophy for the Western State Bowl championship. So as you see that, we will wrap up the 2017 season. SoCal College Sports, COC football. Mike Cepeda is going to join me here momentarily for his final thoughts on the season. And it's a great partnership, I think, between the school and SoCal College Sports, and a great way to start their very first football campaign with them by going 9-2 and winning the Western State Bowl game. So, Mike, come on in and give us your thoughts on this season. When you can. So now COC will go to their end of the end zone and have their final coaches and team gathering. We had hoped to get down there, maybe have a couple interviews, but not going to work out this time. But really a neat experience for them to come in and finish up the season with a big victory. Yep. Jesse, do you know who MVP was?
Brito. Okay.
Number 6 is the offensive player. I didn't get a confirmation on defense.
Cameron Coleman. Well, we have some particulars here to sort out. Well, back to wrap up the 2017 season here. Mike Cepeda, Joe Soriano with you here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Just a terrific year in the SCFA all around, but man, COC just so good this year. A team that had a chance.
They did.
Of getting into that Final Four, as you said, tenths,
yes. Decimals,
away
exactly.
from being in that SCFA Final Four. The bracket has been set here in the South for the SCFA Championship. Riverside will play at Fullerton. We'll be at Whittier College next week.
The top 2 seeds.
Yeah, we won't have coverage of that game as of now, but to pay attention on our website. We will have the state championship game for you later in December. I believe that is the second weekend in December 9th, if memory serves.
Yeah, it really was exciting, and to see the Cougars go 9-2 and win the bowl game. So many things went right this season. The emergence of freshman Andrew Brito, who was the MVP of tonight's ball game. Seeing Dorian Gerald finish up his career here, knowing that he's going to be playing in big-time stadiums across the country for the next couple of years on Saturdays. Really neat to see that and see this, and have Coach I tell me how much he enjoyed coaching this group of kids and and how they stuck together. And as you talked about all season, there's not a lot of depth there, but man, they're a tight-knit group, and they pick each other up, and the next man up always seems to come through. So very, very successful season for the Cougars.
Their ones can run with anybody, and it's hats off again to the coaching staff here at College of the Canyons. Maybe they'll be more inclined to bring us back. Hey, first year on the job here at SoCalCollegeSports.com for Canyons. They go 9-2, so a pretty good start to the partnership here, and we hope to keep that going. Obviously, moving forward, what else can you say? I mean, you can pile on the accolades, but the accolades speak for themselves, and they're gonna. We might be seeing a couple players from this game playing on Sunday. We talked about it earlier. Dorian Gerald moving on to the SEC. I think Tennessee was last we heard. But wait and see, and obviously a bright future.
Lots going to happen with that.
I believe I saw a Twitter feed earlier this week. Dorian Gerald 3.0 plus GPA in the classroom, so getting it done not only on the field but in the classroom as well. So that's very good to hear.
Doesn't surprise me a bit, and can't wait to see what's next in store for him. And Andrew Brito coming back next year, Brandon Pierce coming back next year, Leroy DeShazer coming back next year. So a lot of bright things happening with this program, and it's neat to be a part of it.
I think that's going to do it here in 2017. SCFA regular season in the books, postseason week 1 in the books, the Western State Bowl, and your champion for the Western State Bowl, College of the Canyons. That'll wrap it up here for 2017's coverage here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Special thanks to everybody. Let's get those out of the way. Chuck Lyon, he's the dean.
He's the dean of physical education and athletics.
Jesse Munoz, of course.
Jesse's the best in the business.
He really is. He's just a pleasure to work with.
And his whole staff here.
The entire staff here at College of the Canyons. Just a beautiful facility, well maintained. Can't say that about every facility that we've been to, but for the most part this season, just very good all around. My crew, Matt Hinton,
you guys are great.
Jorge Cepeda, everybody on camera, Mike Nahar, Coach Vic running the end zone camera there. It's just a lot of moving parts, and we couldn't do this without the help and their aid and the work that they do. So, again, wrapping up here, your final score, 28-16, the Cougars a winner over Mount SAC, moving to 9-2 on the season. That'll do it for our coverage. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you next season.